I am here at ZC Social Media, Zoe Cairns, and I'm going live today. I'm going to be interviewing some amazing business owners for Small Business Saturday. Now, we've got Small Business Saturday in the States tomorrow on the 26th of November, and we've got Small Business Saturday on the 3rd of December here in the UK. And I thought it would be a brilliant time for us to come together and just chat to some of the businesses within my community, the Growth Academy, and just have a chat with them about what they're doing, what keeps them motivated, what their focus is, what they've got going on right now in their business, and just celebrate local and national and global businesses. So that's what I'm here today to do. I'm here all morning interviewing some amazing businesses, and I think I've got about 12 or 13 people coming in today, which is super exciting. And I love doing this stuff. I love finding out about people's stories, what their focus is, and any challenges that they've had that they can share their learning with as well. So if you're watching in, please do engage. If you want to come and take part, please do message me. It'd be great to get to know. Runa's just coming in as well. Runa, hi, and hope you're well. It's great to see you. So thank you for the chat too. So again, feel free to come in and out and watch away. I will be interviewing various amazing people throughout the morning, and I hope that you will stay tuned and listen to their stories. Okay, and like I said, I'm Zoe Cairns from ZC Social Media, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So our first guest this morning is Sarah Grant from Sarah Grant Image Consultancy. She's an amazing lady, and I've known her for quite a while now, in terms of throughout business anyway. And she has got she's inspirational. She always looks amazing. She's always looking the part. I'm going to bring her in and we're going to start to have a conversation, and keep putting your chat messages in. I can see Aruna's on LinkedIn. Rachel's coming through and saying she's looking forward to this on Facebook. Do share away, share with other businesses. This is about getting, being local and sharing, and also promote your business on the feed as well. Dawn says, morning Zoe. Morning Dawn, hope all is well. So I'm going to bring Sarah in. I'm going to bring Sarah in and bring her up on the camera. Morning Sarah, how are you?
Morning Zoe, fine, thank you. Bright and early, first one.
Yeah, first one on, and I think you was the first one last year.
Yeah, I was. It's been I've got to go and got some work later, so.
Oh no, brilliant. Well, it's great to have you here, and tell people about yourself, Sarah.
Hi everybody. So I'm obviously Sarah Grant, and I've been an image consultant for must be 14 years now.
Yeah.
And I also am an NLP practitioner, because I always say it's never about the clothes. It's often about the internal dialogue we have with ourselves. So I help my clients, if they've got it, you can't just assume that everybody's got this internal dialogue, clear those limiting beliefs, because we're all unique, in every single way. So yeah. And to bring confidence. I think when we've got confidence, we stand differently, we think differently, we look tall straight away. And I'm talking now. You stand up straight, and it's all about feeling good.
Yeah.
When you feel good, we'll look good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because somebody can say, "Oh, you look amazing in that dress," but if you're not feeling it, it's pointless.
Yeah.
So I might say to a client, ideally, you're better in like a navy than a black. But if she loves black and she feels fabulous in it, I say wear it.
Wear it. Yeah, that's right. Because some people say, "Oh, don't wear that colour because it doesn't go with, your complex or your hair colour or something like that." I mean, I'm not an expert in this, but yeah, like you say, if you feel confident in it, wear it. So, what got you into it, Sarah? What got you into doing this?
Oh, I think it's either 15 or 16 years ago, my husband left with a friend of mine. So left me in a pretty dark place for a few years. And all my life, I've been creative.
Yeah.
And I've always sewn anything creative. I love fashion. And a friend said to me, her friend was opening a clothing shop, and would I help out? So I did 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And it was there that I just love people.
Yeah.
It's like having a counselling session with you, Sarah.
Yeah.
And it was from there that it started, because somebody said about being a personal stylist. And I thought, oh, that's so shallow, taking somebody shopping. But the more I delved into it, so I did train. I trained with a wonderful company in Warwick.
Nice.
I had the first session was a whole week up there, and then I did consecutive. I did makeup, corporate work, and that's how it started. And when I was there was a girl who was doing NLP, and I said, "What's that?" So she told me. That fascinated me because I just love the mind and how the mind works.
Yeah.
I trained in my NLP as a diploma and then my
Wow,
practitioners.
brilliant. I didn't know that about you.
That's why my strap line is the Onion Chef. I can tell you that.
Oh, yep.
So it sort of stemmed from there, and I thought it was a massive turning point for me. And I thought if it works for me, it will work for clients as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because one of my clients who's 70 wouldn't wear trousers because her father told her she had a big bottom when she was a little girl.
Oh,
So we did some work,
yeah.
and now she wears
Those
trousers. So
trousers
it's that part
that
of
you
my job
enjoy.
that I love when I see somebody who's got those negative beliefs, they can stand tall. And I managed to get, she tried trousers on, and straight away she stood up, turned sideways. She said, "Oh, I love those." So it's that part
Yeah. Of
that
of you seeing them change their
grows.
way in terms of, like, what they're wearing. And so, for example, you'll see there maybe their expression when they first come in about the thought of wearing trousers, and then once you've then done your work, you then see how they then react to it afterwards. That's really nice. So what keeps you motivated? Like, what motivates you? No, like on those days when, we all have those days. Well, most of us do. If you don't have those days, put it in the comments because I want to know your tips. But we have those days where we wake up and we're like, oh, it might come to normally mine is like when I get to the end of the week, I'm looking forward to Friday and the weekend to have a bit of a chill out. And although I always forget what day it is anyway. But what keeps you motivated? What gets you out of bed and motivated?
Oh, but I just love life. So I
Yeah.
love people. I love my job. Um, yeah, it's passion. I
Yeah.
think when you've got passion in your life, and I'm inquisitive,
Yeah.
I love people. So, something comes up, I always say yes, and then fathom it out later, or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's that zest for life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, if I lost that, I couldn't bear it. I mean, I had Zoe, a lady I do with a charity, Contact the Elderly. Well, it's not Re-engage. And I host tea parties twice a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So I have like 6 elderly people. They have drivers. So it's
Yeah.
traditional tea party, and I love it. And there was a lady that came, and someone told me her age. She was 106 Christmas Day. She was
Wow.
phenomenal. And do you know what?
Wow.
She has her hair done every week. She has her gel nails done once
Oh,
a month,
wow. Wow.
and she has a massage every month. Completely with it, was singing ABBA songs. And to me, it was her zest for life. I mean, my
Yes, yeah.
son came in and she said, "Oh, it's nice to have a man in the room." So yeah, it's that passion and loving what you do. If you have no purpose, why
Yeah.
would you get up?
And Stephen says here, Stephen Harrison says Sarah has an energy and passion for what she does.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. I do.
And
I can't help myself. Often when I'm out shopping, if I can see somebody and they're debating and I can get that eye contact, I wouldn't jump
yeah,
in. And then, or someone's got a scarf. People know me that I love scarf because I do scarf tying workshops as
yeah.
well. I can't help when I see a scarf that I want to play with it.
No, I love that. I love that. And oh, it's Steph, sorry, not Stephen. Apologies, Steph.
Oh, Steph Harrison.
Yeah, Steph
I know Steph.
Harrison.
I know Steph. I've just sent her an email.
Oh, lovely. And then Olukemi says, I don't have them days. Oh, that'd be interesting. Let's find out from her.
Ooh,
Let me just put in the link because maybe I will send her the link and we can,
get her on.
yeah, get her on and see how she doesn't have those days and what she does. We could find out. So, Sarah, what have you got going on right now? Like, have you got anything where you know, so anything new that you've brought out in terms of launching of a new program? Have you, what are you focusing on right now?
It's my retreat. So I had a light bulb moment about 5 years ago, just before COVID. So I did
Yeah,
get some retreats in because my other passion is baking and cooking
yeah, lovely.
and just nurturing people.
Yeah,
So I thought, why don't I put my passions together and host luxury styling retreats from my home? So it's for one or two ladies. They both have their own bedrooms. They've got beautiful white towels that I had embroidered with my
oh,
logo. They've got goodie bags. Um, they've got lovely fluffy dressing gowns, slippers, um, and they come for the day and they have full colour analysis, styling, wardrobe personality. So it's a very packed day. They'll have lunch. It's always everything is homemade, even the bread, fresh teas, and then in the evening it finishes sort of around 5:30. There's never a time limit, but obviously we want dinner and wine.
yeah,
And in the evening it's all home cooked food, so a main course
yeah.
and then dessert, wine, bubbles. So
Oh, it
you can
sounds
either go and have a lovely
lovely.
bath with the Tropic skincare,
Yeah.
you can go for a walk, you can sit with me while I'm cooking dinner and we can drink wine. And then in the evening around the table, the conversation goes wherever it goes. It's not structured.
So it's
It's
quite
like
bespoke, it's quite, sort of like a one-to-one,
it's very
setting.
bespoke. So
Yeah.
I've had friends come together. You know, one lady on Instagram was watching me do my come window shopping in lockdown,
Oh,
and it was
wow.
lovely. She said, "I didn't just come for the styling. She said, I came for your energy." To me, that was the
Oh,
biggest
that's
compliment ever.
nice.
So it's the retreats that I love doing, and then
Yeah.
on the next day we have a makeup tutorial.
Yeah.
So we all turn up with no makeup on, and
Yeah.
then you do it because you need to go back and be able to replicate that look.
Replicate it, yeah, yeah.
Um, and then it's a hair tutorial because my background for many, 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 many years ago, um, I was a hairdresser. So I've got
Oh.
this wonderful hairbrush. It's called the Big Head by Babyliss,
Oh,
and,
wow.
and it's brilliant.
And so you give them
And
a bit of, what do they call it? TLC. You give them some hair
oh,
styling and
yeah,
help
it's
them
lovely.
makeup.
I like making it cozy so
Yeah, but
that
that's
they're
what it's all
feeling
about. People are like that.
wrapped in a warm blanket and they're cozy. And then it's another lunch. And, you know, it finishes when it finishes, really. I don't do the personal shopping because
Yeah,
they need to go home and digest everything they've
yeah,
learned. And then maybe personal shopping because I won't take somebody shopping with blind. So,
yeah,
you know, I say to people, it starts with colour, then
yeah,
style, wardrobe edits, because what's the first thing you see when you go in the shop? And it's always colour. So
yeah.
when you
And
know
knowing
your
where to
colours,
go, yeah,
you know where you're heading, then you'll look at, for me, I need the look at the neckline, and then I look at the personality of the piece of clothing, the length, the shape. If I love it, then I try it on. And if I don't love it when I've put it on, I walk away.
walk away. So, Lorraine's just put, "I do love Sarah Grant. Her passion and integrity are boundless,"
Oh, it's Lorraine Free. Ah, Lorraine came. I've done Lorraine's hair and makeup and styling.
which is really
Thank you,
nice.
Lorraine.
Sarah, so at the moment, lots of media and news saying about the recession, and we've got cost of living as well for a
Mm.
lot of people too. And as a business, can you give me one thing that you would give to business owners about where we currently at in the current economy, but to give them that little bit of a motivation to say, you know, keep going, or what would your words be?
If your job is your passion, that will keep you going. I think you just have to keep that vision in your head, and it is hard. It's not easy, and you've just got to keep driving through it and hold that passion, that belief. And it is all about mindset, and
Yeah,
you know, believing that we will come out of this. Things will change. Um, but yes, keep that passion in your heart and in your soul, and just keep nurturing it.
Yeah.
and obviously come and work with you, because you've been amazing. I remember
Oh,
I
thank you.
met you in the lockdown and we did your 5-day challenge. Obviously, I'd met you years and years and years
Yeah.
ago when you started. And I remember Jennifer Connolly and we said we'd stay with the ZC social media for 3 months. 3 years later, we're still there. Anyone watching, Zoe is like I always say she's one of life's angels. She's
Oh,
so
thank you,
lovely.
Sarah. That's lovely of you. I love it. I love the community we've got, and you and Jennifer are amazing. It's just nice, and this will be our third Small Business Saturday live that we've done. It's
Yeah,
just brilliant. I love it,
it is.
and maybe one day we can all do it live, which would just be
That
brilliant
would be
as well.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't beat the essence of people around you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't beat that at all. So, Sarah, how can people find out more information about you?
If they can contact me on my website at www.sarahjanegrant.co.uk. And I always offer people a complimentary Zoom. I'm not a pushy person. People know, excuse me, that know me. Oh dear, I've got a frog in my throat.
At the crucial part.
Yeah, the crucial part. That I offer a Zoom call, so we can just have a chat. It's very informal. You can ask me questions. So yes, do that. And I'm on Instagram as I am Sarah Grant. Obviously Facebook, which I put the links in, and LinkedIn. So yes, I do love a little chat with people and finding out about them, because it's fascinating.
Brilliant. Love it. Well, Sarah, I'm going to go and have a look at the chat. So I'm going to go through the chat a little bit now, if that's all right. You can
No,
stay
that's
around
fine.
if you want. Got lots of messages coming through. If you are watching in, feel free to put your business link in the chat. If you're not coming live on today, if you are in the business chat and you are, on the comments, then please do put your Facebook link in there, your LinkedIn profile link. As it's about sharing is caring, and that's what this is all about. It's all about helping each other, coming together as a community and helping each other through some of the times that we're going through right now. We've got some amazing people on this morning in terms of interviews. I've got an amazing lady coming on right now as well. I know Jennifer is due on at 20 past, but I'm going to bring her in. I'm going to bring her in, Sarah. Is that all right? I'll bring Sarah in
Yes.
a little bit early, because then we can then follow up on a chat with her, because I know that she was one of your clients. Now, Fiona's,
Yes.
I can't wait. See you soon, Fiona. I know it won't be long, although you're on later on this morning, so I look forward to seeing you then. So let's bring, I don't know whether Jennifer's there, actually. She might be there. Actually, she's not got her camera on yet, so she might not be ready. But we'll wait for her to come in, and I'm sure she'll add to the conversation. So if you are watching in, we are talking to local businesses this morning for Small Business Saturday. Small Business Saturday is all about making sure that you keep it local, shop local, help your local business community. And what we're doing is interviewing to talk about what keeps them motivated, what's happening in their world at the moment. Can they give any tips to help you as other businesses as well? So it's a really great opportunity for you to hear from other businesses, whether in your area or within the UK, for an example. So I know we're still waiting for Jennifer to come in. Now, I've got a few more messages coming in, and some of them actually won't let me click on them to read them. LinkedIn, this is really good. Someone said, Jennifer's saying that she can't get her camera to work. Jennifer, you should have a little settings icon that you can click on, and it will then ask you to choose your camera. Maybe give that a go. Or even try it on your phone, if not, Jennifer, worst case scenario. Give that a go as well. Let me know how you get on. Oh, actually, it might be because... Oh, no, I'm not bringing Jennifer in. Let's just see. Let's see if she can get her camera working. Technology, we spoke about this earlier, didn't we, Sarah?
We did.
Technology is my one, and it'll only work when you really want it to work. Now,
Yes, it has a mind of its own.
yeah. Yes, so lots going on. There's we had what did I have? I was with Sian yesterday from Women in Business. She's got lots going on in terms of the Women in Business. She's got an exciting thing going on. I'll mention this as well with Adele Martin. Next year they're running a business and menopause club. It's a business and no, business and fitness, I'm sure she mentioned it was. So that sounds really exciting. Ash is doing his mastermind, and I'm going to be doing a joint program with Ash next year, all about sales and marketing. As we're finding that a lot of people are, in terms of building up, they're getting lots of leads from social, but then finding it really challenging then to actually convert. So found a real sort of gap there. But it's really interesting, especially when you start to get businesses on here, what their passions are, what their motivation is, and how they're currently working at the moment. Because you'll find that because of the pandemic, lots of people changed their way of working, they changed their way of thought, and therefore their goals and objectives changed, and their whole service and offering changed as well. And it's really interesting finding out where they were in 2019 and where they are now. So really interesting when you find out. So we're just waiting for Jennifer to come in. Sarah, in terms of Christmas, what have you got going on over Christmas? I know that you mentioned you've got your retreat ready for the new year, but you mentioned that you've, I didn't know whether you're doing a Christmas campaign. We've been talking about Christmas campaigns and all that type of thing.
We are doing campaigns, and on one of the campaigns, on the retreats, anybody that wants to come, if there's 2 people or just one, you will get a hamper which will be worth £100.
Wow.
And in that hamper, you'll get things like bubbles, and also I make candles that are
nice
soya wax, because then you don't get the black sooty ceilings, and 100% pure essential oils. And I love making those. I mean, it's something I could do with clients on a retreat in the evening, because it's just so simple.
That would be lovely.
So you'll get that, you'll get some Tropic products. So it'll be worth a good £100. So I will be putting that out there later. So it could be something that loved ones want to buy for their wives.
Nice.
To take with, maybe the daughter, for their wife and their daughter to come together. Because I have got 3 ladies I'm going to see up near Suffolk.
Oh wow, that's
Suffolk.
Yeah.
Maybe in the new year there's 3 of them. So there's lots of things. Yes, I'm still working up until roughly about the 6th of December, because I've got my sister coming from Tasmania.
So you've got a nice family Christmas. That's nice.
It's a lot going. Has Jennifer got in?
Yeah, we're going to bring Jennifer in now. Is that all right?
Yes.
Let me bring Jennifer in, and then what we'll do is we'll have a couple of minutes with you, Sarah, and then I'll take you out of the not literally though. Let's bring Jennifer in. Hi, morning, Jennifer.
Good morning. Sorry, I am on my phone because the computer, for some reason, my camera's not playing game.
Oh, well, it's technology. We were speaking about this earlier.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Jennifer. Do you want to let everyone know who you are?
I'm Jennifer Connolly. I'm from Soul Fertility, and I am a reflexologist that specialises with fertility, maternity, and beyond.
Perfect. We were just talking about you. I don't know if your ears were burning.
I did. I had you on my computer. That bit was working.
Yeah, we were talking about you. Sarah was talking about you, because I said to Sarah, do you fancy staying a couple of more minutes while Jennifer comes on? And she said, yeah, why not? Because you're always together. You're always together and meeting up. And I almost call you the accountability too, where I think it's great in terms of what you 2 do. You get together regularly
Thursday,
and you keep each other accountable.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm just
it's funny because Jennifer was a styling client about how many years ago, Jennifer? 6 years ago?
It was, I think, 7 years ago nearly now.
7 years.
Wow.
And
it was a long time.
We've become best of friends. It's been lovely, because sometimes your clients you do, but Jennifer and I had this affinity, and because we both love sewing.
Yeah,
so sometimes I'll have a day sewing in the sewing room, and Jennifer's amazing. I mean, she's working with my daughter at the moment to do with fertility, and relaxing her, because Natalie needs to be
That's
relaxed as
lovely.
well. So yeah, amazing.
That's a good
Lovely.
synergy there. Well,
Yes,
Sarah,
yeah.
I'm gonna say goodbye to you, and I'll get everyone to come and check you out. Make sure after this you put the link in the chat so people can go and find out more about you. And then I'm gonna go and interview the wonderful Jennifer.
Okay. Bye,
It's
guys.
been lovely
See
to
you
have you
later.
on this
Thank you,
morning.
Zoe. See
Take
you later,
care.
Jennifer. Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye. So welcome, Jennifer. Jennifer is when I first met, I'm trying to think when I first met Jennifer, but Jennifer's such a warm, lovely person. And as soon as I found out what she does, I knew that was just something right for her in what she does. Jennifer, tell everyone, I know you just briefly said it in a few words, but tell everyone about what you do.
Well, like a lot of people in business, they find their niche because of life experiences. And I've been through pregnancy, miscarriage, abortion, IVF, and everything like that. And I found, and I was already a reflexologist. I've been a reflexologist now for 28 years this month.
Wow.
So very, very experienced in that sense. But I actually niched about 5-6 years ago. Or I was already working with these clients that wanted to fall pregnant, but just did it as a thing. Now I specifically work with these clients because then I've done a little bit of extra training, and because I understand where they've been, what they're going through, because I've been there. I've done all the IVF. I've gone through all the injections and all of that heartache of when it's not worked and all of that sort of thing. And as I know you know, and some of the others may know, I actually went beyond that and actually went on to have a little boy that I adopted. It was actually our special anniversary yesterday.
Yeah, I know, I saw.
14 years ago yesterday that he came to live with me as my son. So yeah, it's a very special time. But yeah, that's why I work with the clients that I do. And it's some of them are struggling, and they've been struggling for many years. Some actually come because they are already pre-thinking about having a family, which is absolutely fantastic, because sometimes people don't think about that planning. They're the ones that are wonderful, because I can set, well, most of them that I do see that are in that stage, by about 3 or 4 treatments, they're pregnant.
Yeah, and it's amazing what you do as well.
Yes, reflexology is amazing because it works on the whole body. It's very holistic. And like Sarah, I work with NLP, but I work more with their language of how they're talking to themselves, and I give them homework. It's not, it is easy, but it's homework for different things that they want to do, of how they think about things and what they're saying to themselves. So they do go home with a little book, and I have one here. All my clients get a little book.
Oh wow, I love that. I've not seen
they can put their journey down, they can put little notes down of how they're feeling and all of that sort of thing, and we can discuss that at the next treatment session.
That's really lovely. And when I say to people that you do that, and it's feet, reflexology's feet, right? So
it is, mostly feet.
You're just like, how? Like it's amazing, really. Like, along with the language changes, and then what you're doing.
That's the powerful thing. Obviously, reflexology gets the body working more effectively and efficiently. So if there is a hormone imbalance, it will help to balance it. It will start to balance it. And the nice thing with reflexology, the more treatments you have, the longer the effects will last. So if you're struggling to sleep, and I work on anybody, to be fair, but obviously I do specialize with the fertility. But if someone comes to me because they're struggling to sleep or get decent sleep, they'll sleep really well, definitely the first night after I've seen them, possibly the next few nights. Everyone's different how they react to the treatment, but by the 3rd or 4th treatment, it works on a cumulative basis, so the effects will last longer.
It's really interesting.
That's so lovely. And it's an unblocking as well. It's not just the physical body, it is mind, body and spirit. It works on the whole level. So all of a sudden, some clients, I have a box of tissues here, that invariably, if I ask a specific question, clients, or even if I'm working over their feet, they just crying. But it's, for me, it's wonderful because it's actually a release. Absolutely.
Ever had anyone come to you, Jennifer, that's skeptical about it, but then you then sort of convert them, if that makes sense.
Well, bizarrely, I have had some quite a few clients actually, that because obviously I do a medical history and find out the backgrounds and all of
Yeah.
that. But there have been a few
Yeah.
that have actually not told me something,
Right.
just to see if I pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And invariably I do.
Do.
So I go, oh, you've got a problem here. And they go, yeah, I do.
Oh.
How did you know? And I think that converts them, because I'm telling them something that they already know, but they haven't told me. So I don't advise that, but yes, there are some that do minor things like that.
Wow. So what keeps you motivated doing what you do?
I think it's the responses from my clients, and I had a lovely message yesterday and a photograph.
Baby.
One of my clients actually gave birth. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see her for the
No.
last 5-6 months, unfortunately, because I do support clients once they're pregnant. I don't just drop you.
No.
I work with you on a monthly basis right up till the birth and beyond if you wish. But she broke her ankle really badly, and she wasn't able to drive and get to me, so I didn't get to see it. But it was so lovely to see a message from her to say she's had the baby, and she sent me a lovely photograph. That's what keeps me going. I have got a picture wall which I need to focus.
Oh yes, you do that.
You know, of all the babies I've helped.
Yeah,
it's lovely.
That's really nice. I love that. And so in terms of, how about challenges and stuff like that? If you could share something like a learning or something with the people watching in, you know, we all have challenges and obstacles and learnings from what we do. And I think in some ways, you know, in terms of, I think COVID and the pandemic was a massive learning for all of us. And now we're heading into a recession. What would you say to businesses, Jennifer, going forward in where we currently all are?
Oh, that's a really difficult one. Thanks for the warning.
That's all right.
If it's a real passion, keep going, because to be fair, the universe will look after you. And I do trust that. Last week, when I looked at this week's diary, I actually had 2 clients, which it's nothing. By the end of the week, I've had 5 clients. And next week, I'm already up to 6 clients.
Yeah. Which
is wonderful.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah, and especially coming up to Christmas. I suppose I'm really lucky in that the industry that I'm in is actually a luxury industry. But because I specialise with fertility, people will and do want help.
Yeah, they do,
and they will pay for it, which is lovely. And I know I can help them.
Yeah. So, and do you know why I asked you that question? Because the other day when we were talking, and we, you know that I'm quite spiritual, and you are as well. You said it always just happens. It happens, and I trust in the process. And I thought this would be a perfect one for Jennifer for me to ask, because I know that she will bring this up.
And I did.
Yes, you did.
It's about trust in the universe. If you want it enough, it will appear, and you will be looked after. If I don't have clients in a particular week or for 2 or 3 days, I ask myself the question, what am I meant to be doing? And it might be that it's time for me, or it could be that I just need to sit back and relax a little bit. And like Sarah, I go into my sewing space and do something creative. Obviously, I'm always working with my hands. So reflexology is working with my hands. Sewing is working with my hands. I knit, I crochet, I do all of that sort of thing. Everything with my hands. I love working with my hands.
That's amazing. And Sarah's just put, Jennifer is amazing. Dawn has put, Dawn Carter Wilson. She's put, that's amazing. I love that. Shame I don't live closer by. Maybe you're still
do look at the AOR website. I am the area group leader for the local reflexologists, but the AOR, which is the Association of Reflexologists, they have a list of reflexologists that are obviously qualified in your area. So you can put your area and find someone that you might like to work with, and there's generally going to be quite a few. So check that one out, the AOR group.
And maybe you'll connect with Dawn afterwards, Jennifer.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can have a chat on Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. Send me a message, Dawn, and I will respond.
Jennifer, how do people find out about you and what you do?
Right, I have a website, as everybody does. A lot of people do come through that, and they look me up on Google. I think I come up on Facebook quite a lot because
Yeah,
I have a Facebook page, Soul Fertility. I
yeah,
am on Instagram as well. I'm obviously working with Zoe. I am very consistent a little bit more now
yeah.
in posting, so people do get to see me. They check me out on Facebook and then they go to my website. There is a link on there to send me a message, or you can just send me a text message or ring me. If I'm able to answer, I will. But I do, like Sarah, I also offer a 15-minute consultation, no hassles or anything like that. Just we'll discuss what I can do for you and how I can help you.
Brilliant. Amazing, Jennifer. Well, Jennifer, it's been a pleasure for you to be on this morning.
You're welcome, thank you. And it's been wonderful. I look forward to seeing all
I
the
love
others
it.
later on.
I know. Gareth said to me, we should do this more regular. Like
Yeah.
literally, it's about a monthly sort of like
And
show that I do.
it's useful because it gets us into the zone of
Yeah.
being on camera,
Yeah, and
which
being
we all
live.
hate.
Yeah. No, you're all so great at it, so it's great.
We're getting there. We're getting there. But
Yeah.
thank you for your support as well.
Oh,
It's been amazing. I wouldn't be where I am now without all of
oh,
that,
you would. You take
which is
massive action.
wonderful. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
thanks, Jennifer.
thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to see you this morning. And go and put your links in the chat, and anyone
I will do.
watching.
I will do that now, and then I'm going out to meet my sister with her grandchildren, who are
Oh,
the two little ones that one little one that I actually helped into the world because my niece
oh.
was struggling, and the other one, she didn't need my help because it was baby number 3. I helped with the first 2 and that was it.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, enjoy your time with them.
I will do. Thank
You
you.
take
Good
care.
luck with
See you
everyone.
soon. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that was the lovely Jennifer Connolly. For those of you watching in, go and check out Jennifer Connolly. She's a lovely lady. You can see that from our conversation just there. She's from Soul Fertility. She's going to put the links in the chat as well. If you are watching in this morning, feel free to put your comments in the chat box. Let me know who you are. What is your business? Share the link to your businesses as well, because as people are watching this, they'll go through the chat and we'll see your brand name and your links and follow through to your page. So do that. And if you are coming on as an interview and you want to put your link in there as well, please do that. I'm supporting businesses today for Small Business Saturday. I'm interviewing the amazing some amazing members from the ZC Growth Academy, and we do this every single year. We're celebrating Small Business Saturday in the States tomorrow for the 26th of November, and for the UK for the 3rd of December next Saturday, and we will be showing this video over the next week. Next up, I've got the amazing Paul Wren. Paul, you okay for me to bring you in early? Just wondering if that's all right. Oh, your camera's working. I'm going to get you coming in. Oh, your cameras are working and everything, Paul, so I'm going to get you coming in if that's all right. Hopefully I'm not coming in too early. Hopefully that's all good. Good. I'm going to bring you in, Paul. Okay, here we go. So let's put it side by side. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hi, I'm all right. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. How's things with you?
Sorry?
You good? You good?
Yeah, all good. Thank you very much. Yes. I was
brilliant.
waiting for Amy to come in, but no, I'm all good.
Oh,
Zoe. It's lovely to see you.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, Amy can't make it today, and I'll mention her business after you, Paul. But I thought I'd bring you in early if that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
We
Go
had
for it,
Sarah on before, and then Jennifer. So just today, in terms of Paul, tell everyone about you and what you do.
Okay. My name's Ori Paul Wren. You can see it on the screen, Control and Change. I'm a control practitioner, mind coach, hypnotist, and a nutritional therapist, father of 2, and of a little crazy dog, married for the last 15 years. I was in IT for 20 odd years, faced redundancy and a lot of stress, and that led me to start to look into stress workshops, what I could do with my mind, and met a lovely guy. He taught me how to use hypnosis. I'll mention his name, Tim Box, of the Control System.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
he did a cracking job. I must admit, I went in like so tight and tense and freaking out.
He's brilliant, Tim, isn't he?
He's absolutely awesome. He's my mentor.
That's brilliant.
And he helped me out. I come out even though I knew I was facing redundancy and didn't know sort of what's going to happen with a mortgage and everything else, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
calm.
Good.
Fast forward 2 weeks, didn't get made redundant. Yippee! So I had some pennies. I used those pennies to train with Tim.
Yeah.
And then fast
Good.
forward on a couple more years, built up my practice, did face redundancy, took it with both hands and ran.
Yeah.
And this is up from a couple of clients. I'm here in my home office today, but I've also got 3
Nice.
locations out there in the world. So
Oh,
I can work
okay.
in the Zoom. Yeah, I can work in the worlds of Zoom and social media and FaceTime and all the various online
Brilliant.
packages
Good.
and in person over 3 sites
Perfect.
now.
Oh, wow.
So I work with
Where are your
osteopaths.
free sites, Paul?
One's in Lordswood in
Oh,
Chatham. That's an osteopathic clinic.
yeah, yeah,
Really good because I can work with the mind and body there with the osteopaths. So
yeah, yeah.
I refer people to them for aches
Oh,
and pains and
nice. That's
tension up
good.
here, especially in the neck.
Yeah.
And they refer them back to me, obviously, to help with the mind. So
Oh, perfect.
that works really well. Keeping that in mind also with a physiotherapist over at Kent Physio in Gillingham.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice guy called Paul Timpson. We've known each other for years. It's a lovely place to work. And then down in Rainham at the Kent Wellbeing Hub.
Yeah, I
They've
know.
also
Yeah.
got things like, what have they got down there? They've got things like yoga and Pilates. So again, it keeps that same sort of body and mind working
Yeah.
together. And then, I built up the clinic list. We're working with anxiety, depression, fears, phobias, confidence, addictions, stopping smoking, losing weight. Been on a bit of a health kick, using my mind and the body myself. Lost 3 stone this year, so quite chuffed
Wow,
with that.
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
What got you into it, Paul? What got you into mind stuff and the hypnosis stuff?
It was that threat of the job first, but then looking back, Zoe, all the time with IT, I was never really interested in the tech. It was more, how can I fix things or how can I help people?
Yeah, yeah.
I never
yeah.
really realised until I look back on it now, and I was like, oh yeah, that really,
Yeah.
And I've worked from like Scotland, Ireland, Wales, all the way across the UK. And
Wow.
sometimes, why did I fly all the way over there and do all of that work? It
Yeah,
wasn't just
yeah.
I love that computer. It was
Because
the
was help.
result.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this finding a solution.
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I see a client come in and they can't eat, for instance, because they're so anxious, the throat's closed and they haven't eaten for a couple, we need to fix them. And then they go home, they send me a picture of them tucking into some food and they're happy. That buzz is
That's
amazing.
nice. Yeah.
That buzz is how I feel how I did feel, obviously, with IT when I walked away and I thought, I'll fix that for them. And I didn't really realise it until many years later. So,
So that would be one of your so it's not like, because when I speak to some people and they say like I say, oh, why might you have got into hypnosis or mindset, and it's always that they really want to know, first of all, like, how the mind works. Does that make sense, in terms of they're more intrigued by the science behind it all? But with you, it's about helping people. It's that solution. It's nice to see a different side to it.
Yeah, it's the results. It's that those life-changing moments in particular. I always tell everybody about I've got one label of being the dog guy at one point. 30 odd years, you probably heard this story, Zoe. I was terrified of dogs. I literally nearly got run over a couple of times running out
I
the
remember
road.
you saying, yeah.
And obviously I helped loads and loads of people with different fears and phobias, but I never cured that one. I never actually thought, let's do it. I didn't want dogs, I didn't bother. But both of my 2 daughters were nagging me to death one year, about 4 years ago, saying, come on, I want a dog. And did some sessions on myself, and we dog sat for a weekend. And it was only when I was watching football on the telly and I didn't realise I was actually stroking the dog on my lap.
Oh.
And at that point, I'm like,
oh wow.
I was just like, and
that's
and now
brilliant.
She's fast asleep downstairs. We've had a good old tussle every day. We play play fights. She bites me, and I'm not scared, not phobic, just enjoy it. So, and it can be something quite simple like that. It doesn't really impact your life, but it can also be
Yeah,
big things.
yeah.
You know,
Because it'll
agoraphobic.
trigger it, doesn't it? Like, say, for example, someone has got something like that, like a fear around something, and they might not even experience it for years, but then all of a sudden something triggers it, or something sets that memory, or just reignite that fear in them. Just something will trigger it off. Could be a smell, it could be a sound, it could be something they see. But I think it's interesting how you can help people in finding that solution to combat that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly
really,
that. I mean, and sometimes the other thing that always gets me, Zoe, yes, I've been triggered by certain things, but what also gets me is the fact that sometimes when we've lived with it enough,
yeah,
it's almost like we own it and we think we can't get rid of it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, for
yeah,
30 years, I thought, well, I'm always going to be scared of dogs. But
yeah,
I've worked with people that be anxious for 40
yeah,
years and they've never liked confrontation. And one of
yeah,
my awesome clients, he didn't like that. And that started when he
yeah.
was 8 years old.
Wow.
He was just approaching his 50th birthday and he was like, oh, yeah, I must get rid of this.
Yeah.
And he did a couple of sessions and now he can talk to his workforce. And actually, even
Oh,
if
good.
there is a confrontation, he can deal with it now.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's
Yeah,
40
because that
years.
can have a massive impact, like literally on your business.
Yeah, definitely. He couldn't tell his own workforce to get cracking and do their work.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
they said no, then he would be backing off like this. Now he can. So yeah, it can have a huge impact.
yeah. Wow, wow. So, Paul, right now, like, the way that things are going, and the media is talking about recession, and people are experiencing cost of living and stuff, and they're feeling really anxious and, fearful of what's going to be happening. What tips can you give to both business owners and people watching in right now? Or one thing that you could say to them about that?
One thing I think is the best is to trust yourself.
Yeah,
We've all been through challenges.
yeah,
Sometimes when there's so much going on, it's all like this, it's in your face, it feels too much.
yeah,
But we forget that, we may have had children, we've had job interviews, we've had car accidents, we've had big
yeah,
operations. We've always been through challenges, but because they're
yeah,
done, they're
yeah,
done. We don't look back
yeah,
at that. And sometimes I say to people, you've been through this before, haven't you? Like 10 years ago or 5 years ago. And they're like,
yeah,
yeah, but it was back then. And I was like, yeah, but the same person managed
yeah,
to come through it. We will, it's like saying to yourself, what if? It's like, well,
yeah,
what if we deal with it? At some point, we will come through it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know these times are hard and we're having to do extra jobs. We're having to sort of cut back on subscriptions. We're having to think
yeah,
about the physical things we can control.
yeah, yeah,
They're all the good bits that we can control, but the rest,
yeah.
if it's outside, we can't control wars and energy crises, that sort of thing. We
No,
can't
yeah,
control it. So therefore, we can control our response to it and
yeah,
realize that the things we can do, we'll deal with. The rest we can let go. And I
yeah,
think sometimes we try and control everything around us, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
we want to be super helpful, and we take on so much more. And sometimes we don't
yeah,
take enough time to stop and go, actually, I could do this.
yeah, yeah.
So
And lots of people get really overwhelmed, don't they? They get overwhelmed because they're layering all of those things that they're thinking about. And so then as they layer all of those individual things, they become overwhelmed and frustrated and get themselves down a little bit about it all. And I think, is there anything that you can say around that? Because recently, Paul, that I'm always out networking and talking to different businesses, but I find that they get so overwhelmed, and they start to list everything in their head that they might have got to do or what they're worrying about. Whereas if they just put it down on paper and just write it down or get it out, I don't know what your suggestion is with this, but it can
Yeah,
sometimes be. Does that make
no,
sense?
it does. Two things you can do, Zoe. I've actually renamed my to-do list to an
Yeah, yeah.
achievement list. I call it
Oh,
achievements
I
across
love
the top.
that, love that.
And it's really good because obviously you cross one off,
Yeah,
you feel you've achieved something
yeah,
straight
yeah,
away. It gives you a little boost, and therefore when you're looking down, you're like, oh, look what I can achieve today, rather than, oh no,
yeah,
look what I've got to do.
yeah,
That's one tip. Another one is to actually give yourself a little pat on the back each time you have done one. How
yeah,
many times we go 1, 2, 3, oh, I haven't done the fourth one. Do we
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
ourselves for the 3 that we've done?
Free
We
you've
don't.
done, yeah.
We kick ourselves, don't we, for the last one? And then, "Oh,
Or
that has to
we'll
go on
have to
tomorrow."
put it over to the next day or the
Yeah,
next week.
exactly that. We kick ourselves for that one rather than taking
Yeah,
time out to say, "Hang on, I've done quite a lot." The
yeah,
other one that I use a lot is I ask myself 2 questions. Is it me? i.e., is
yeah,
it mine? If it's not mine, I'm going to park it for a little while. And
yeah,
does it need to be done now? If it
yeah,
doesn't need to be done
yeah.
now, I'm going to park it for a while. It's a bit like if you're ever in a shared office and you go open up the fridge, you don't pick out somebody else's sandwich, you pick out
No,
yours.
you pick out your own.
That's it. And you don't pick out the stuff that's got a long date on. You tend to pick out the stuff that's going to go out of date soon.
Yeah, love that, love
So
that.
always look at, is it mine? Is it now?
Yeah,
And then that way it's amazing. I did a test on my desk once. I literally pushed everything to one side over here.
yeah,
And I did, is it mine? Is it now? And put it over here. Over this side, I only ended up with 3 bits. There's a mountain over here and only 3 here. I did all 3. As soon as all 3 were
yeah,
done, I was like, cool, I'm done. I could actually face this list now and say, oh, I can take on one that's maybe tomorrow and
yeah,
do that
yeah.
one. Or I can take the time off and feel good.
I love that, I love that. I tell you, I saw something funny the other day, and I love that you've just said that because I think it helps people put things into perspective. Because otherwise, you've got a long list, you become overwhelmed, you think I've got so much to do, and I end up going to Gareth, look at my big to-do list, like, and it just makes you feel overwhelmed. But I saw a meme the other day, and it said, are you that person that has your to-do list, and if you do a task that wasn't originally on the list, you write it on the list and then just immediately cross it out? That's me all over. Just to show
It's
what I've
pretty
done
good
at the
though.
end of the day. Yeah, it
I
makes
like
it's
that
that
though.
that
Yeah,
achievement. It's that sense of achievement, isn't it?
it is. And we need that sometimes because
Yeah,
one thing I do with my clients, is the last question on my intake list is always, how will you know? I.e.,
yeah,
how will you know you're feeling better, or how will you know you're not anxious or you're not
yeah.
addicted anymore? And I always try and get at least 3, 4 things. So that
What
when we feel,
feelings? Like feelings,
yeah,
you mean?
yeah, feelings, things you can do physically, places you can
Yeah.
go to.
Oh,
Let's say,
nice. Yeah.
yeah, let's say if you had driving anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it might well be that you originally started on a motorway, so you think, oh
Yeah.
well, I'm not going to do motorways.
Yeah.
Then it might go to A roads, big dual carriageways. Then it might go to certain routes. So
Yeah.
they're the
Yeah.
things that all you're worried about. So if you flip them up and say, okay, well, they're the things I need to fix. So you'll
Yeah.
say, how will I know? I can do all
Yeah.
of that. The good thing about them is when we've done them, we can tick them off. But
Yeah.
also, when we don't fear anymore and we feel pretty good, quite often our mind will actually just say they're done.
Done.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a lovely client come in, and right on the last session, I was like, oh, okay, I think you're done now. And he's like, really? And we went off 12 different items of things that he was worried about. He had forgotten some of them. And I said, oh, what about this now? And he's like, oh, yeah, that wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
That was never an issue. And I said, no, it was. You told me it 3 weeks ago. And
Yeah.
he's like, no,
Yeah.
no. And he'd already dealt with it without realizing.
Wow. I love that.
So, yes, definitely by putting an achievement down on it and ticking it off, that sort of thing, you need to do them and ask yourself, how much have I improved now? Because we'll be
Yeah.
surprised at what we've dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that. And that's why it's important to keep we were talking to Jennifer earlier, and she keeps like a journal log. So
Oh,
in keeping the journal log, you're able to then go back and have a look at those things that you've just mentioned. And I'm sure you do that for your clients, but it's really good to then reflect on how far you've come. Does that make sense? So
it does.
it's
Definitely.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant.
That, and also, I always like to think of life as a bit like an old-fashioned photo album, or like our Facebook feed, that sort of thing,
Yeah,
where we've got all our highlights. And
yeah, I
this is what
love
people
that.
forget, is that we move from one highlight to another. Life, all the boring little bits, all the school runs, all the
Yeah,
hassles,
in between.
jobs, they get us from one place to the next.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it. And each time we look back and go, actually, I remember this one. I was really good at it. And then I
yeah,
remember this one.
yeah,
We're always striving to our next ones, but we have to enjoy the bit in between, because
yeah,
that
yeah,
gets us from one to the
yeah.
other.
And so yeah, and it's all those little bits that got us there. I love that. Some people though, Paul, say about don't focus too much on the Oh, so just they say trust the process, and just, keep focusing on that vision, and, you will, I'm trying to think of the right words. Trust the process, and, don't focus too much on the journey. No, I'm trying to
Yeah,
think
I
about,
think I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a bit
don't
like
think about how, like the how, because
yeah,
it will
it's a bit like
happen.
what's that one about? Don't worry about the rain. It's about lip dancing in the
Yeah,
rain.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Exactly that, and that's the thing. We forget sometimes just how resilient we really are,
yeah, yeah,
and how well we've done.
yeah,
And things will definitely improve.
yeah,
We won't always be here. We've been through many other challenges in the past,
yeah, yeah,
and it's the same with we're working on our business, we're working on ourselves, if we're helping our little ones.
yeah.
A little while back, my youngest was facing the 11 plus, and she was, and she really didn't think she was going to do it. We weren't sure, and as it happened, she not only passed, she aced it, and then she went
Oh,
on and
wow.
done 2 other things that she didn't think she could do, but she did.
Yeah.
Now she doesn't even think about them.
No.
It's done. It's what next?
Well, she's got a good teacher, which is fantastic, which is nice.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Paul, how do people find out about you?
They can do. I'll put the link in the chat, but they can go
Perfect.
to control and change all one word.co.uk. That's my
Yeah.
website. Facebook, Control and Change, Instagram and LinkedIn. Find myself
Perfect.
on both of those. I have got Twitter, not on there as much, but you can find me on there as well. So
Brilliant.
and the numbers hopefully on the background image of this
Yeah,
screen.
yeah,
as
we
well.
can see that. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, so all of those, I do like a free discovery call, and also if they really want to see how their mind works and give it a try, also we can do a free taster sessions as well, just to take away that, oh, I'm a bit nervous, and just
Yeah.
see it in
Yeah,
action.
yeah, and get to know you as well, which is really good.
Well, I
Yeah.
always say to people is the best thing about doing any sort of change work is the rapport that you get. You've got to have
Yeah, yeah, of course.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like to make it fun. I like to have some jokes. We like to sort of
Yeah.
relax people. And at the end of it, if you feel happy to chat to me and I feel happy to chat to you, and it doesn't feel like a challenge or chore,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that's one less stress, isn't it? One less thing to worry about.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. No,
And quite
brilliant.
often that's enough to focus you on what you want to change. Sometimes
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had a smoker who actually literally went from 20 a day to 10 a day, and we hadn't done any work. All we done is had a chat.
Oh,
That's all we did. We spoke, and we had just like this online. We chatted away, and at the end of it, he went off. And when he came back, he goes, "It's really weird. I'm only doing 10 a day now. Why is that?" I said, "Well, because your mind knows now that you
yeah,
want to, so it's already
yeah,
taken away all the
yeah,
easy
yeah.
stress."
Amazing. Love it. I love all that stuff. I could talk about it all day. Although we recently went to where did we go? I think it was Fort Park we went to, and we went
Yeah.
in the Derren Brown ride, and it was all about like mind stuff.
Oh,
And I
excellent.
come out still being none the wiser, and everyone else got it, and I was like, I still don't get it. And they went, well, we can't explain. I was like, oh, I need to go back in there next time, and just probably because half the time I had my eyes closed because it was a bit scary, which is probably why. But Paul, it's been lovely to speak to you this morning.
Yeah,
Would you
really
go and put your link in the chat for everyone to see? Put it on Facebook, and if you're on LinkedIn as well, that'd be amazing. And please do go and check out Paul's stuff. He's an amazing guy. He's a really lovely, friendly, personal person, and recommend him to anyone watching in. So thank you so much for coming on this morning.
No worries. Thank you for inviting me. So I really enjoyed it.
Oh, brilliant. And I'll see you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Take care, Paul.
Okay, bye-bye.
So that was the lovely Paul Wren. Paul Wren, I've known for quite a while now. Most people that are coming on today, we've met through networking. They've been part of the academy, and we've done business together, which is fab. And some of these people have become my really good friends as well, which is really nice as you get to know them. If you are just coming in, welcome in. We have now been live for just under an hour. I've done about 4 interviews, I think, or it might be 3 interviews, I think we've done this morning, and we've got a fair few coming up. I've got people coming on in the next 10 minutes as well. And I know that I've got Laura Ash in I'll call it the blue room. I know if she lets me know that she's ready, I don't want to come and get her on early if she's not ready. So just let me know, Laura, in the background, if you're fine to come on. That will be amazing. Paul, if you go into Facebook and you go to ZC Social Media Facebook page, you can find the live and then you can just put it in the chat. Is that all right? So perfect. Few messages coming up. Dawn says, great story, Paul. Turn something devastating to you into something helpful and positive for a lot of others, which is a really nice comment. Thank you, Dawn. And then the lovely Aaron, Gareth's brother, quick pop in to say good morning to you all from Ireland. Have a great morning. And guess what, Aaron, Gareth says, I look very Irish today with my green on. So perfect, you coming in and then saying hello. So I hope you all well, and say hello to Carla and the boys for me. Okay, so we've got some interviews coming up. I'm going to bring in the lovely Laura Ash. Laura and Barry Ash are part of Rock Solid Health. They run this business they've had for many years. They are fabulous in every single way in helping people. They do a lot of charity work. I'm going to bring her in so she can tell you more about them and the amazing things they do. So I'm going to bring Laura in, and hopefully you can see me, Laura. You're all right? You good?
How are you
Morning. I'm really good. Are you?
Yes, very well, thank you. How are you? Because you've been going and doing all these interviews.
Yeah, I've been going for an hour. Do you know what? I don't think it'll top the first one we ever done, which was over 4 hours. And me and Sean were doing it together, but we hadn't factored in any breaks. Gareth wasn't here downstairs to make any tea. And I literally was like, we were back to back for 4 hours. At the end of it, I said to Sean, what are you doing? She said, I'm not doing anything. I said, do you want to come over for wine? We were literally flat out. Today she couldn't help me, but yeah. So today I'm only going to around 11:45. So I've got about another 45 minutes. Oh no, I've got another hour and 45 minutes. So yeah, I love doing this though, Laura. It's great, and it's helping businesses and with exposure. So tell us about you. Tell us about what you do.
Well, it's quite funny that you're speaking about this today, actually, because it's kind of what we help with, energy management. Business owners, professionals going into
Brilliant, love it.
you know, because you're doing this for what, maybe 3 or 4 hours, and you've got to manage your energy because, you know, when we get up in the morning, we only have a certain amount.
Yeah.
So it's like how you're going to manage that for the rest of the day. You're going to take a bit of downtime, or you're going to keep through and end up going pop. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, but she's normally me, Laura, you know.
I think a lot of business owners do that. They just keep going and going. They sacrifice their health, their relationships, their body for the success of their career. And we see it day in, day out. But to answer your question, I run Rock Solid Health with my husband, Barry. I'm obviously the face. You know, he's got a face for radio, I've got a face for TV. So that's why I'm here. And yeah, we help to restore people's health.
Yeah.
We help to boost their energy,
Love that.
you know, by shifting out of burnout. And really it's there so that people can actually start to live a fulfilled life and do the things that they love the most with the people they love the most, and not have to sacrifice their health and their well-being, you know, for the success of their business. And we do that all through our 6 pillars of health and well-being, you know, that we have, you know, developed ourselves.
It's really interesting you saying about the energy part as well, because you find that there'll be certain activities that people do in their business, which I could do, like a day of meetings, go to a meeting face to face, right? And I'll feel fine at the end of the day. Whereas if I get on stage and I'm giving that 100% just for half an hour to an hour, afterwards then feeling really zapped because you've given so much energy, you've given so much passion. And I'm not saying I don't do that in my meetings, because I do, but it's a different type of energy that has completely been used. So it's actually showing people how they control. I don't know whether I'm making this up, but I'm sure there's different energies, right? So
well, the thing is, what you've got to remember is when you go on stage, it's not just that half hour.
no,
Right? You've rehearsed this in your head. You've cortisol, you've released all that adrenaline.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
body is in a stress state, which most of us are wired and tired. We're
yeah,
in that stress state. We have no idea that we're in that stress state.
yeah, yeah,
And so it's almost like that extra level that you're working at. Whereas when you go to meetings, you feel more comfortable,
yeah,
you're there, you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
food,
Good.
it's, no one's judging you as such
No.
as when you get on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah,
And so, it is very much, yes, that is going to be more exhausting.
yeah,
And if we keep going at that level, that's when
yeah.
we, like I did.
How did you get into it, Laura? How did you start helping people with the pillars that you're working in? How did you get into this?
So I was 10 years in Kent Police,
Yeah,
and I was medically retired because I have a diagnosis of bipolar and OCD.
yeah,
And in 2012, there I was sat in the Force Medical Doctor's office,
yeah,
and he said to me, right, you do it or we do it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll take it and I'll medically retire myself. So there I was, 33 years old, Zoe,
wow, wow,
mental health disorder. I
yeah,
couldn't see anybody giving me a job, right? So that's when we decided to look at, well, what are the things that have helped me and what do
yeah,
help me? And it was looking after my health, looking after my, my mental health, my emotional health.
yeah,
And we went into Rock Solid. And initially, we just did the old body transformation,
yeah,
before and after pictures and all that kind
yeah,
of stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not poo-pooing it, but it's
No,
not where the magic is. And then I suffered massive burnout in 2017, where literally we nearly lost the business. So
oh, wow, wow.
we lost the
What
business.
caused that burnout? Just because you was doing that and you were constantly training and
I was overworking.
yeah,
I hadn't actually defined my pillar of success. I
yeah,
was looking at what everyone else was doing. I was working really hard. I was up late at night. I was going
yeah,
to meetings in London, everything. And all of a sudden, on a
yeah,
Friday night, it just went boom. And that was
boom.
it. It literally just snapped. And so from that point, we were like, no, we're going to put a stake in the ground and we're really going to dedicate ourselves to health, to well-being.
Yeah,
Pillars: sleep, first of
yeah,
all,
yeah.
hydration, nutrition, movement, thought management, and de-stress me time. These are the things that we now teach
Good.
people religiously.
In terms of you, so someone might think, oh, I can keep going, I can keep doing this, it won't happen to me. Is there any key identifiers that, that they, so something might be, I don't know how to describe this, Laura, but is there any key identifiers that might be happening in that person's life that they then feel that they're on that route to that burnout? Does that make sense? Or they're close to that?
Yeah, so we do have our burnout self-assessment, which I know that
Yeah.
but there has been a study done by Christina Maslach, and it's only just started to come out now. And this
Oh,
is kind of
wow.
what we've based a lot of our work around. And her study was to see how they could get people back into work after burnout
Yes.
through psychiatry. And they've identified that there are 3 areas. So you've got physical, mental, and emotional burnout.
Yeah.
And a lot of us will have kind of like a mixture of all 3 of them. And there are key indicators for each one of them. So something like physical burnout might be
Yeah.
weight gain, where you're
Yeah.
training,
Yeah.
you can't be bothered to cook your food,
Yeah.
you feel completely exhausted even after a good night of sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emotional burnout is when you're starting to question yourself, you're not getting your jobs done, you're starting to think, am I right for this job? Is this right for me? Your confidence gets knocked,
Yeah.
self-esteem gets knocked.
Yeah.
And then the third one is mental. Can you hear the cats running
I
around?
can hear Salem and who's it, Captain?
And
No.
Goose. Yeah, we've got Salem and Goose, 2 kittens.
Oh.
Say, why have you not locked them out of the room? Well, because this is part
No,
of
that's their home.
and then mental, and this is the one, Zoe, that a lot of people don't like admit to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is when you get mental burnout, you can become very cynical,
Right.
very judgmental,
Yeah.
only the negative in life, and you can really drop into that kind of icky, dark space.
The area.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are like really important for people to like know about. And so you said you've got an assessment that is it a free download? Is it a free test?
So it's a burnout self-assessment, and
Yeah.
we'll ask you 26 questions based on how you've been feeling over the past 2 to 4 weeks. It will
Mhm.
take you literally 3 minutes, and at
Wow.
the end of it, you will get a personalised report which will tell you
Yeah.
where you might need to focus your energy on.
Well, and Gareth is watching on here on ZC social media. Gareth, I sent you the spreadsheet. Can you, I think Laura put the link for the burnout in there. Could you just put it in the chat? It'd be amazing. Actually, I've got it here from you, Laura. Right, I'm just going to put this into the chat on the right-hand side. So anyone watching, you can literally just click on that and go and check that out, or share it, even with another business owner or person that you feel may be going through this right now, that will help them and assist them. Because believe me, I've been at the end of Laura and Barry's advice and guidance, and they are amazing. They're amazing people. I wouldn't send them anywhere else when it comes to this stuff. They are, and they're so personable, but they've been through it themselves, which is, I think, is really important. When someone's been through those challenges or those areas in business, when someone's been through that, they've had the experience, they know how to deal with it, they know what options are available for that person, and what option they then choose, they then have got that guidance that person can go through as well. I think it's so key to make sure you choose the right person to help you with that.
Yeah, definitely. And one other thing to note on this is, sometimes we get burned out because we're not doing enough of the things that we love. We become the business, the mum, the husband, the wife, whatever it is, and we lose our identity. And again, that can then fall into mental burnout. I know we kind of keep an eye on our surveys, and over lockdown, it was more emotional burnout, but now post, it's more mental burnout.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
I didn't even know there was different types. I think that's great. Like, and I've definitely learned something this morning. It's really interesting. I can see what you mean, though. Like, people. We always say to my dad, and I can imagine he gets physical burnout, because he's always working. He never stops. Even at the weekend, he always has to be doing something. Always has to be moving around and doing something. And, but then if I say to him, I've sat at the desk all week, he'll go, oh, you need to get up. You haven't done anything. I'll go, I'm just mentally exhausted. And he'll go, well, what's that? Because all he's used to is physical.
Well, I just did a poll on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And it was, I asked, why do you think people don't spot burnout?
Yeah.
And 44% said lack of education, and 56% said because they believe that people have their blinkers on. They don't want to recognize it because they've got to get through. So it's equally important that we start talking about this to break down the stigma that it's okay to stop, and B, create awareness to say, look, this is what happens, this is how it feels.
Because I think if people were more aware of the consequences, because, I know loads of people go, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep going, because they're too worried about stopping because they've got so much to do, right? If they know about the consequences and they're educated in this more, for example, then maybe they'll actually start then pacing themselves, because ultimately, and we hear this all the time, if you burn yourself out, you're not going to be able to do anything at all.
So we need business.
Yeah.
Like literally all I could do, Zoe, was colour in. That was it. And that happened on the Friday night at midnight. I then tried to come back to work on the Wednesday. I sat in front of my desk and I just burst into tears. I was like, I literally cannot do this.
Could do this,
So Baz had to carry us, and we had a PA then who was absolutely amazing, and she helped. But literally, I couldn't even get dressed. I couldn't make myself a cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? Where my brain had just dribbled out my ears.
So what advice would you give to business owners, like in terms of, number one, what can they do in terms of preventing, a tip on how they could prevent this, but number two, like how they can get more from you or find out more about you?
Yeah. Number one, I would say definitely do the self-assessment,
And
and don't be scared to do it.
Yeah.
What you might find, but definitely do that. And then my biggest tip would be set boundaries.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and that's that when we do our Energized Leadership program, which is a year program, the first module is about identifying your own triggers and symptoms, but the second one is about boundaries.
Yeah. And I bet people are reluctant to do those though.
Yeah.
I'm giving you all of my sort of like, no. Like someone said to me, you've got to work between 9 and 7 and you've got to switch your laptop off. I'd be like doing the laptop like that, closing it, like, because I am so work obsessive, and you know this. I am so work obsessive with it. There's so many out, and I do shut it. Gareth will go, just put your phone down, put your laptop down now. Let's just switch off. And I do. No, give me due, I do. But some people will be constant. They're constantly.
Yeah, they'll go, like, say, for example, their bedtime's 11 o'clock. They'll be working all the way up till 11:15.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't switch off.
Here. But there's nothing wrong with working all the hours God sends if you're not burnt out. If you're okay with it, crack on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Starting to notice a few cracks, you've got to get on that before you smash it.
And I've before I've like worked right up to that where you then sort of like go to bed like just like 15-20 minutes afterwards, after me doing a live or something. And I definitely see the effect, because I can't switch off. Like, you literally, mind's over time, and you almost feel like that you're sleeping, but you're not sleeping. Does that make sense? You're still working in your sleep.
Of course you are.
And so so having that downtime to just completely switch off, like you say, is so important. So, you know, if anyone Aruna says, let me just show you this. She put oops, she said, about the person 15 minutes before. And then she goes, I'm a bit like that. Okay. And then she then said, Laura, that she needs to speak to you. So Aruna, reach out to her. Aruna, reach out to Laura. The link is above. I don't know if I'm going to paste it in again. The link's there, Aruna, for the assessment. Go and do that, but also reach out to Laura. Aruna, Laura's in our academy group, so reach out to her. Amazing lady, and we'll definitely be able to help you in doing that. Laura, just share your website and stuff for people to know about.
So website is rocksolidhealth.co.uk. Come and find me on LinkedIn as well, Laura Ash. Instagram is rocksoliduk. And Facebook is Rock Solid Healthy. So we're always hanging about there. But please feel free to drop me an email, lauraash@rocksolidhealth.co.uk.
Brilliant. Love it, Laura. And do you want to mention about your superhero stuff? Any contacts you're looking for? Or...
Yeah, if you're happy, if we've got time.
Yeah, do it, because I haven't got the next person turn up yet. So go for it.
Oh, great. Well, let's do it then. So Barry and I have do a lot of charity work under the banner of Our Superhero Life. We're actually looking at making it official soon, Zoe.
Yeah.
And Barry and I dress up as Wonder Woman and Superman, and we basically help raise awareness and give our time to children's charities. So recently we've helped Tree of Hope, which are an amazing bunch of people, and Yasmina from that is looking at getting into the Paralympics.
Wow.
And she's well on her way there. She's amazing. Also, we support Pilgrim's Hospice. We raised £4,500 for them. That's
brilliant.
And we also what did we also do? We also do stuff for Demelza as well. So we do all of that, and we are looking at somebody to build us a website for sponsor the website, and we're also looking at creating a calendar next year.
Yeah, I love that. I love this.
So we can raise money for charity. But yes, so we just want to be there as a force of good.
I love it. And do go and check out Laura and Barry, Our Superhero Life. Their videos are brilliant, and the reels.
TikTok. That's it. And also Instagram, Our Superhero Life.
Love it. And Facebook as well, right? Are you on Facebook?
Well, I'm working on that. I need actually someone to maybe donate some time to us to be able to help us get the Facebook side up and running, and maybe help us schedule some stuff, because running a business and then running that side of it can get a bit too much. So I need to upload. But we also have the YouTube channel as well. So head over there. We do vlogs about the cosplay, what it's like at a Comic Con. We did a vlog about the Tree of Hope and the Superhero Series Day. So yeah,
Brilliant.
go and have a look at that as well.
And Sarah says her message was, love them.
We love Sarah too. I love Sarah's energy. It's
Yeah.
so infectious. It's lovely. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. I love everyone on here. I think it's great. And yeah, I'm keeping that energy going, Laura. And it's been a great interview. Thank you for staying on longer, which is brilliant. It's been fun to have you on.
No worries.
Go and put your links, any other links you've got, feel free to put them in the chat. But everyone, go and check out Laura and Barry Ash. Amazing people, great energy, because they know how to manage energies. So go and check them out. And yeah, thanks so much, Laura.
No worries. I'll see you
I'll
later.
see you
Chloe.
soon.
Have a
Take
good
care.
day.
Bye. Okay, so that was the lovely Laura and Barry Ash from Rock Solid Health and Our Superhero Life. Go and check them out. They are amazing people. I'm going to say it over and over again, all these people are amazing, but go and check them out. They really do help people that, you know, for example, like myself, that doesn't know how to switch off. And Laura and Barry are there to help in, number one, assessing that, but guiding you through on those pillars of life that you need to start thinking about. If you are finding you're getting overwhelmed, you're overworked, and you're feeling that you just need some downtime, and how to manage that and put those boundaries in. So go and check them out. Now we've got another lady up. I love this next lady as well. She's got such a calming voice, and she deals with many things that a lot of us probably right now are having challenges with, in terms of anxiety, maybe feeling, you know, maybe a bit stressed out with what's going on. I'm going to bring Rachel in because she can explain it better than me in terms of what she does. So I'm going to bring her in, and I'm going to bring in the lovely Rachel Chapman. Let me bring us in. Morning, Rachel.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm really good. Are you? It's lovely to see
lovely,
you.
lovely.
Rachel, tell everyone about yourself.
So, as you can see, my name's Rachel Chapman and my business is Simply Hypnotherapy. So, I'm a qualified clinical hypnotherapist working with clients to navigate through this roller coaster of a life that we're on. And mainly really working with clients to manage anxiety, stress and emotions.
Love that.
Because at this moment in time, we're about to come into a very busy time of the year, December.
Yeah.
So that can create lots of emotions and triggers. And the financial climate in general is creating anxiety out there as well. So I help people sort of navigate through life. If there's bumps in their world that crop up that they wasn't expecting, I help them to move forward in a real positive direction.
Brilliant. And how did you get into it, Rachel? Have you always done this, or was it a career?
No, business actually is coming up to 3 years old. I can't believe that. It's
Wow.
flown by. But prior to working in hypnotherapy as a therapist, I used to work in the banking industry for 20 years. And then unfortunately, my mum passed away probably about 11 years ago now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she passed away that I found out that she actually struggled with her own mental health.
Oh, wow.
And I had a bit of a think about what I was doing with my life. And although I loved working with my brilliant colleagues in the banking industry,
Yeah.
I wasn't really in love with my job.
No.
I wasn't fulfilled. And I really wanted to make a difference. So I decided to retrain in therapy. And predominantly I chose hypnotherapy because it is an amazing therapy that we have all got the tool to use on an everyday basis, because it is working with our mind, but our subconscious side of our mind, which is the part that stores all of the information from the minute we was born up until today, all the positive experiences and negative experiences. Some things that we have learnt from our peers may be super brilliant, but also can be super unhelpful. And we can carry that throughout our life, which will impact how we continue in our life. So it's all about reprogramming that part of our mind. And we've all got the tool within us to do that. and we can get results quite quickly. So that's why I love hypnosis and hypnotherapy. But recently, I have actually been doing some training in thought field therapy.
Oh, wow. I've not heard of
And
that
that
before.
is tapping. And I'm sure you've
Oh,
probably heard of
yeah.
tapping. But that is where you tap different parts of your body to reduce an emotion. So
Yeah.
you're tapping the acupuncture parts of your body. So, for example, if you're in a situation and you're feeling quite anxious, there's a routine that you can tap on your body to reduce those emotions down and for you and to help you to cope with that
Oh,
situation better.
wow.
And these routines you can learn and then use them when you're, you know, come up against tricky situations as well.
Oh, so oh yeah, so it would be cool because you said, forgive me for this. I'm
That's
going to
okay.
say it because it's part of my character, but you said emotional field. What did you say? Emotional field?
Yeah, so most people know
Was it EFT?
tapping as emotional field therapy.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
know, so I thought about it from an EFT side, but I never
EFT.
knew what the meaning was.
Yes,
I know,
yes.
interesting.
So what TFT was the original therapy designed
Yeah.
by some fantastic scientists that's done so much research. That was the original tapping. Then EFT come about, and the main difference between the two, with the EFT, when you're tapping whatever parts of your body,
Yeah.
I'll do a little demonstration in a minute.
Yeah.
You say affirmations. But
Oh,
actually,
okay.
the original TFT, which I've just trained in, you don't need
Yeah.
to say the affirmations because it still makes a massive difference.
Good,
So,
good. I love that because sometimes
yeah,
the affirmations, some people, like, you know, when you talk to some people about it, they're a little bit skeptical about it. Does it really work? And I
yeah.
suppose it's then getting them to overcome that skeptical part first before you then introduce it, right?
Absolutely. And it's getting the client, I mean, if I'm working with a client, they might not be in a state of anxiety as such. I'm using
Yeah.
this as an example, but it's getting them to think about what emotions are linked to that feeling
Yeah.
and get them
Yeah.
in that zone, and then we can tap it out.
Love
So,
that. Love that. So
yeah.
what's your driver, Rachel? What's your motivation?
My motivation is my clients. I say this all the time and it's very
Yeah.
cheesy, but that's
No.
predominantly why I came into this. I found out my mum has struggled all her life
Yeah.
with her mental health, and she was at the generation that would never speak about mental
Yeah.
health. You know, it was a bit of a taboo subject.
Yeah.
And it can still be a massive taboo subject. There's a lot of stigmatism around it. So I want to be the therapist that people feel comfortable, can
Yeah.
open up and come to me and know that they're not going to feel judged. And by doing that, I can really help them move forward in whatever they need to do. And when I start working with a client, it's amazing. Every week you can just see the difference in their demeanor, their face, their body language.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can just see the difference that the therapy is making in their life, and that warms my heart. And I
Yeah.
think,
No.
yes, I'm making a difference to the people in this crazy society that we live in, and this
Yeah.
roller coaster that we go on every single day.
Yeah, yeah. It's really important for, you know, like you mentioned about the technique of TFT that you
Mm,
mentioned about the tapping.
mm.
I think it's important for people to be aware of these tools that they can then use them in situations that is going to help them in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, just a simple tapping routine. You can
Yeah.
tap just
Yeah.
here above your
Yeah.
eyebrow line,
Yeah.
and then underneath your eyes, so on the bony bit,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
on your bra strap, and then on your collarbone. So if you're
Okay.
feeling anxious, you can just do that very simple routine, and it can just bring that emotional feeling down. I mean, there's loads of videos out there that everybody can have a look at, but it's just another tool that you can use, as well as all the
Yeah.
various different breathing exercises that are out there as well.
It's really good. And would they do that multiple times or just one?
Yeah, so with the tapping, you do your sequence
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
So, and you
Okay.
can do that sort of 2-3 times a day. There's lots of different sequences you can use for lots of different emotions that's going on. I mean, I won't
No.
go on with them all, but if people want to know more about it, then
Yeah.
they can get in touch. The other thing I did want to mention whilst I'm on
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
I do have my wind down event coming up this
Oh, yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah.
And the reason I put these on is because I feel we all need a bit of rest and relaxation. So it gives you a chance to come online with others, have 30 minutes of a rest and a relaxation, reset your mind, realign, and just have a bit of you time, because life's hectic, especially
Yeah.
because we're going into December. So I thought I'd do it the last day of November just to get us all ready for that busy month ahead. So that's online on Wednesday evening at 8. So I'll put the link in the
That's
chat
brilliant, brilliant.
as well. But a lot of people that have been on them love it. It's a way to understand how hypnosis and hypnotherapy work, and it's a way to really relax, wind down, and just chill out. Forget the world for
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Switch off. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
nice. That's a lovely
yeah,
thing to do. So how do
yeah.
people find out more about you, Rachel?
So I've got various different social media channels. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I am on LinkedIn, but not very active on there, I must admit. I have joined the world of TikTok, and I do
Yeah.
little videos on there.
Brilliant.
And I've got my website as well, simplyhypnotherapykent.co.uk as well. So lots of ways people can get in touch, but again, I'll put my links in the chat as well.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Rachel, it's been a pleasure to have you on this morning. It's
Yeah,
always
thank
lovely
you, Zoe.
to
Thank you for
interview.
doing these. I always
Oh,
love
I love
these.
it. I love it. And this will be going out over the next week anyway, because we're going to create an ad and boost it out over the 2 Small Business Saturdays. So people, I'm sure more people will be watching the replay. Go and check out Rachel. She's an amazing lady. And you can tell just by her calmness how amazing her sessions would be.
Oh, thank you, Zoe.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Rachel.
everyone that's watching as well.
Perfect. Rachel, you take care and I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
That was the amazing Rachel Chamber. Go and check Rachel out. Like she mentioned, she does tapping, hypnotherapy, around anxiety, stress, and emotions. Have a look at her. She's going to be putting her links out as well, and I'll be putting everyone's links out after the live interviews too. If you are watching in and you've just started to watch us, feel free to share this on your profiles. Feel free to comment what your business is in the chat below. I hope that you're enjoying this so far. We've got quite a few interviews still to go. And as you dip in and out, you get to know different people. If you've got to go for a meeting and you want to come back and watch us live, please do that, because this is what it's all about. We now have the lovely Sophia Gray. I'm going to bring Sophia in. And again, Sophia, all these people are inspirational. And I say how amazing and inspirational they are, because they are. I'm going to bring Sophia in. And hi, Sophia. How are you? You good?
I'm well, thanks. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Yeah, how are you? You good?
Oh, yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Have you been watching in this morning?
I have. I've watched the first part of it, then I went off to a meeting and come back in.
Oh, perfect. It's been really good morning so far. I can't believe how quick it's going. I've been on here an hour and a half. I've got about another hour and 15 minutes, so I'm going to keep going. And it's great to by the end. I always watch it through, because it's nice to go and have a look at all of the interviews and watch it without presenting, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Sophia, tell everyone about you, about what you do, and who you are.
So, hi everyone. I'm Sophia Gray. I'm the founder and CEO of the Savvy Women Group, and that basically does everything to do with property investing. So I'm a property coach. I'm an investor. I'm a developer as well, and I do the finance for properties as well. So basically, in a nutshell, that's what I do. I teach people how to get into property investments. Whether you're in business already, whether it's just you want to use it as a vehicle, as a business, or just save up for your retirement fund, I can help you achieve that.
I love that. How did you get into it, Sophia? Is it something that you've always done, or something that you come out of a previous career and
No,
went
I've
into?
been an investor for 30 plus years now. And I say plus because then I'll give away my age. But yeah, I've been in it for some time, but I was a business consultant first and foremost, because when you're setting out to do property, you have to understand the mechanics behind it, and that is the business element. So I've always taught how to do a business, whether you're a small business, whether you're a blue chip company. I've always understood business and how it should operate. So I've always gone into it in that respect, and teach people how to set up their business and move their business forward. And then taking it from that standpoint and gone into property investment, because when people make money, they feel, well, what now do I do with these profits? How do I make more money from this? And that is the vehicle that I use, is investing in property.
And how do you feel at the moment, Sophia, in terms of, do you think it's a good time to buy? Is there opportunities right now? Or do you feel that it's a time for people to educate and plan as to where they want to go in their property portfolio?
Okay, so there's 3 strands to it. If you're a seasoned investor, and as much as this sounds really cold to say, it's the best time to invest, because you've got those funds sitting there. You know the opportunities, you've seen the opportunities. We've gone through quite a few recessions, and those are the biggest opportunities that people become millionaires out of recessions, unfortunately, but they do. And the current housing shortage is another thing, the current rental market. So these are the things that seasoned investors will then look at and think, what's the best opportunities, but what's the best strategies property to go into now. HMO's number 1 at the moment. But for those who want to understand the markets, that's where I come in with the membership. It's teaching how to get into investment. So building up your knowledge bank will set you in the future, if you don't have any money now, to get into the property markets, understanding how you can get into it, and knowing what kind of cash flow that you need to get into the markets as well. And at the moment, I'm doing the money side of it. So I'm helping people to understand money matters, and things like that, because I understand that not everyone is a seasoned investor. Not everyone understands property. So what I'm looking at now is the money side of the business. So I'm doing a series of projects to do with money, and that is within corporate surroundings, as well as one-to-one sessions with clients as well.
And because there's a lot of people that will just go out there and just start buying at any time, and that because they don't fully understand the whole market, or like you mentioned about seasonal buying and all that type of stuff. Now, what tips would you give to anyone that's thinking, I want to start investing in property, but they don't know the different the right times to buy or how to go about it, and they just sort of go and jump straight in, find a property, and that property might not be the right one, and they don't know how to assess it in the right way? What tips can you give to someone that might be considering it and might try and go in quite blindly with it as well? Does that make sense?
That knows me, there's a key word that I always use: do your due diligence. And it's like it's a buzzword with my clients at the moment, because it's like, if you do your research, and I mean, there's a plethora of information. Google is everyone's friend, and you can go out there and search far and wide. The confusing thing about doing that is not understanding what property strategies will yield you the most for the investment you want to put in, what is right for you as an investor as well. Because sometimes it's not necessary that you've got the money or confessed in any property. It's whether you've got the stamina for that type of strategy as well. So I always say, reach out to me, have that 30 minutes consultation. It's free. We can have a brief chat, and any time that you want to take it forward, you can do that with myself. But I'll give you the tips of know what you want to do. So find out what best suits your pockets. Never overstretch yourself financially. Know the type of property you want to invest in. Know the area in which you want to invest in. So if you're a person that only likes your local area, then invest in that local area. However, your money might not stretch in that area. For instance, if I was living in London, a lot of people can't invest in London now. You're priced out of the market. But if you said, all right, let me go 20 minutes outside London, you might have a property that you can invest in then. So you know where you want to invest, what type of property. And the key thing here is, do you want, what type of tenant do you want in your property? You want those professional tenants, or do you want students? Do you want
Yeah.
a HMO where it's multiple people living in your property? Because not everyone is good at deciding what type of tenants they want. I like professionals, and I do single lets. I have a HMO portfolio as well, but I prefer single lets, semi-detached properties in London and surrounding areas. So I know my strategy. I know what I
Yeah.
go for, and I stick to that because I'm familiar with it as
With
well.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so that's the best way to go.
I think that's brilliant. There's some really good tips there, especially for people that are thinking, you know what, I'm going to get into property, and they've maybe read a few things and they think that it's now the right time. You know, that's a really good way of, you know, looking at what, you know, what steps they need to take. It's perfect, Sophia.
And
So,
also your mortgage
go
as
on.
well. So sorry.
Yeah, go on. No,
So
go
look
for
at
it.
what finances you can get.
Yeah.
So I've got a free PDF that looks at the mortgage process. What for you? What type of mortgage you can get? How long do you need to have been working? What's your credit report? I'm doing a mini series on our podcast at the moment
Brilliant.
about different areas. Looking at, we done one last week, looking at your credit report. What's on your credit report? Can you get financing? Because that's what the lenders will go to. They will look at whether you're credit worthy or not. How much deposit do you have? Do you have up to 5%? So there's so many different factors that you need to look at, whether you're just buying your first residential property or whether you're buying your first investment property. These are the things that we can discuss, and I can tell you which way to go, and you'll be happy with the whole process.
I love that. So where do people find out more information about you, Sophia?
Right, so you can go to my personal website. That's www.sapphiregray.com, or you can go to the business one. That's www.savvywomen, spelled SAVVY, women, WOMEN.co.uk, or any social media. That's 50 @SavvyWomen.
Perfect. Brilliant. I love it. So go and check Sophia out. She's a great lady to know. She knows her stuff about property. She's in mortgages and finance as well. Go and give her a follow. Sophia, after your interview, go and put your links in the chat. We can share them out, and they can go out on there as well. And yeah, it's been a pleasure to be with you this morning. Amazing, amazing as always.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming along, Sophia.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you real soon.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
That was the lovely Sophia. Property. So if you've been reading about it and you want to get into property, and you might be reading that it's now the right time to be buying, just make sure that you do your research. Like Sophia used that word, do your due diligence. Make sure that you know what you want to, what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve, and maybe get some advice. Go and get some guidance. Go and check Sophia out. So we've now got around, I think we've got about 5 interviews left, and it's been an amazing morning so far. Again, I've been on here at 1 hour and 40. If you've been watching in, it's been lovely for you to be watching in. Please do like, comment, share. If you see someone you know, share. Share the love. Caring is sharing, I say. It's about helping and coming together, supporting local businesses. I'm doing this, not just for me in terms of exposure, but I'm helping these businesses come together, build their own awareness, but also share the amazing things that they are doing, because there is some amazing things. Now, I just want to go and give a message out right now, because we were supposed to have a video early today from the lovely Karen Stanley. And Karen is an amazing, you know by now that my word is amazing. I say amazing. I'm going to say Karen is fabulous. She has wrote, and she always quotes me because I'm wrong every single time I do this. Karen has wrote, I'm going to say 14 books. It's probably 12 because I normally say 12. She's wrote 14 books. This year alone, she has wrote 5. And Fiona will correct me if it's wrong. Oh, someone's just popped up. I think it's okay. It's Barbara in the background. We can't see you, Barbara, so don't worry. I've got you in the dark room. I called it, in the blue room. And so Karen is doing her book launch next Friday on the 2nd of December, where she's bringing out her VIP book with all of this year's books, which are all part of one main. Well, they're all part of a theme, which is called The Dog and the Duck, which is brilliant. Literally, when I get into Karen's book, I can never put it down. So I have to allow a Friday night with a bottle of wine, reading Karen's book. I can't put it down. At the end, I'm like, oh, when's the next one coming out? And so this year, many of us have been, when's the next one coming out? I'm quite sort of like sad that this is going to be the last one of the series. I was said to Karen, can't you just bring out another spring one in spring? And she's like, but they are brilliant. So I just want to have a shout out to Karen. Go and check her out. Karen Stanley, author. And again, I'm going to mention her again in the next bit of break that I've got between speakers. Now, next up, I've got the lovely Fiona. I'm going to bring Fiona in. Fiona has been a long time contact of mine. I've known her for many years now. Inspirational lady with an inspirational story. I'm going to bring her in and get her into the interview. Let's bring her in. Morning, Fiona. How are you?
I'm fine. I just have to say that I'm Karen's beta reader. So
Oh,
everything when she emails me an episode of The Dog and Duck, and I see
I
it,
love
I
that.
read it on my mobile, so my eyes are like, what's the time I finished? But oh my goodness, she has to bring out a new series. She has
She's got
to.
to.
I can't live properly without it.
I know, not with Dog and Duck, and it's almost like I said to her, it should be a Netflix series.
I could put it on a Sunday evening with a glass of wine and watch that.
Yeah, and she keeps us on a cliffhanger. That's what I said
Yeah.
to you.
It's
You've kept me on a cliffhanger, and I just want the next book. Can't you just tell me briefly what happens next? Oh, Fiona, welcome this morning. We're Karen's fan club, and Karen's got lots of fans in the Dog and Duck series and her other books as well. But Fiona, tell us a bit about yourself.
So I'm from Microblading and More. Doesn't really tell you what I do anymore. I started off with microblading and knew there would always be more. But I had over 24 years in finance. And I always wanted to help ladies and men that had cancer. I had my cancer diagnosis in 2005. And I'm so grateful to still be here and now have my little girl, and always wanted to give back. When I had my eyebrows done, I thought, light bulb moment, I can help. My ultimate goal, apart from doing eyebrows, was to actually give ladies and men back their areola after mastectomy. And I just qualified earlier this year, June.
I've seen this. I've seen on your profile. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so I am now a medical tattooist. And I'm so excited. So
you're excited.
It's really
sorry, I'll keep interrupting you. I think there's a bit of a lag. Oh wow!
So there's
amazing.
a mould that actually looks like a pig as well.
And how long did it take you to train in that, Fiona? How long was the training process?
I had to do the permanent makeup first. I had to learn all the machines and different techniques. And then I did an areola course a couple of years ago, but it wasn't great. I didn't actually get to work on a model. So I came around thinking, I'm not confident to do this.
No.
Absolutely amazing lady over lockdown called Vicky Martin. And if you ever watched Tattoo Fixers, she was on Tattoo Fixers Extreme with nipples all down her legs, getting them covered up. She practices on herself. She is amazing. She devises the best techniques. And she practices all the time. She's just got her own pigment range coming out as well.
Brilliant.
We over lockdown online, and I did her 3-day course at the beginning of the summer. She loved my work so much, she's asked me to work with her. So I now do training courses with her, and it's just fabulous watching the students learn and seeing the ladies when they look in the mirror once they've got their areola. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
You need a lot of tissues. It's a very emotional time. So I'm always looking for connections with surgeons and breast care nurses to try and get ladies in, because a lot of those don't know it's possible, or they're on a 3-year waiting list with the NHS. The that we do in the training room are covering up NHS ones because the nurses haven't got the training to do realistic ones, whereas we match what if they've got one, we match it, the colour, everything. But But also,
Wow.
I do the scar camouflage as well. So ladies that have had facelifts or they've
Yeah.
had surgery, and a little bit of ink just down here means that
Yeah.
scar will go.
Oh,
Ladies,
wow. I've
yeah,
not heard of that before.
it's magic. You watch it go as you do it. So I always give my ladies a mirror so they can see it disappearing. It's
And are you
just,
using the colour pigmentation the same as the skin?
yeah, I've got special scar camouflage inks,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I match to the skin. Obviously, if it's not got a suntan, I match to the skin, and yeah, any white body scar I can camouflage.
Wow,
Again, like
wow.
ladies that have had uplift surgery or had a reduction, self-harm scars as well to get rid of that reminder, that sort of thing. And after one session, it's amazing. It's always
Yeah.
a two-step process, but yeah,
And it makes a difference to their life and their I was going to talk about their obviously their mindset and their thoughts, because it sort of removes that away from, you know, it changes the thought process, right? In terms of
my first lady who came to Scar Camouflage, and she came just to help me out really to get so I could have a model and build my portfolio. And she had a matter on her hand. She'd had it there for 19 years, where an ex-partner had shoved her through a window.
oh no.
Bothered by it or anything, but as I was and she was watching it go, oh my goodness, it released emotion she never knew she had. And she phoned me the next day and she said she'd literally sobbed the whole night when she got home. She said, I feel like a different woman today. And I was like, oh my goodness, to be able to make
That's
that.
amazing.
Yeah.
Is that your drive and motivation, helping people
and gratitude? I'm grateful every day for being here. I can't put it into words properly why I'm doing it. It's just what I've always wanted to do. So 4.5 years ago, I set out to do my business, and now this year is where I'm really happy.
oh, that's amazing. You found your sort of like your niche and your area that you really want to focus on.
You don't, until you start going into it and talking to more ladies who've been through breast cancer, you don't realise the impact it has on their life, on their personal life, everything. You know, the relationships, everything. So I'm working on doing a workshop next year to deal with ladies' sexual feelings and stuff to do with breast cancer and that sort of thing. And we're working alongside someone else. We're doing a collaboration to try and so I absolutely love it.
So Fiona, just on that, because I've just hearing you say that, and I hear a lot of ladies say this, for example, they say, I've got my business and I'm doing various things, but I just don't know what direction I want to go in. Whereas you may have been like that, like 3.5, 4 years ago, not too sure what direction you was going. What advice would you give to any other business or businesswoman listening in, if they don't know where they want to go yet? Just what would you say to them?
I think for me, I was lucky because I always knew what my end goal was. I just didn't know how winding the path would be to get there. But I think don't chop and change too much. Pick something, go with it for a little while. But if it's not you, don't be frightened to change and drop it. Because where I started with training, I obviously needed to have an income. So I did like lashes and I started the facial stuff. Never thought the facial stuff would be for me. Didn't think I'd like it. I love doing skincare. I love it. I would do that as well. But for me, it's all about making ladies feel better. So when they come and have a facial and they've never had one before, or they haven't treated themselves for years, it's time for them to lay down, relax, and a lot of them just offload. And it's great. I really think these walls have heard so many secrets. I turned my legs off because I thought, well, I think that records.
Rachel Chapman's put she's put great advice. I love your facial, so very relaxing and refreshing. It's lovely.
You've still got one in the bag, Rachel, as well.
Oh, that's great. That's really lovely. And so Fiona, how do people find out more information about you? Like, how can they come and find out more?
They can come on my website. I'll put the links in the chat afterwards as well.
Brilliant.
And I'm on Facebook and Instagram, microblading and more.
And you mentioned you were looking for surgeons and breast cancer consultants, did you say?
What I'm finding really difficult is actually getting in front of the ladies that need the areola tattoo. Trying to get in touch with surgeons is really, really hard because they're so busy.
Yeah.
Their work
Yeah.
is so horrific. So I mean, I've sent one of these breast molds to a couple of them, and it's just waiting for them to come back. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
anyone knows anybody that needs it doing for a start, I do free clinic
Yeah.
days for areola as well.
Yeah.
So I'll do one of
No,
those every
perfect.
month.
And would you reach out? Gareth might still be listening in from ZC Social Media. Gareth, would you reach out to Fiona and Fiona vice versa? Because I think that we have got a client with an audience that
Oh,
would be really, reach out to Gareth. We've got, it could be a blog that would highlight the awareness for you in there. So we do it subtly, not like sort of selling,
yeah,
but we
cool.
do it subtly. But it'd be really good to, to make that connection for you.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like I want to sell. I'm happy to
No,
make
yeah.
the areola, and I'll do that, you know, one day or a couple of days. I've got a few ladies needing it one month.
I think you would be find it a really good resource for good contacts, Fiona. I think it'd be really good. So I'll
Yeah.
get Gareth to connect you.
Perfect. Thank you, Zoe.
That's it. That's all right. So go and check Fiona out. Fiona's going to put her links in the chat. And Fiona's a lovely person, approachable, personable. Just, go and check out her stuff. She's a fab lady and very supportive in the business community. So Fiona, thank you for today. It's lovely to see you.
And you're still
And
going, Zoe.
fingers crossed about the Dog in the Dark series 2.
You've got to make sure that next Friday goes really well, and then maybe the second one I can't wait to get my hands on the
I know.
the one with the jacket
On the
on.
VIP one. I know. I'm looking forward to it. Just so I've got all of them in one book.
I wouldn't mind reading them leisurely rather than like speed reading.
I know. Yeah. No, it's good. It's all good. Well, I'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks, Zoe. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was the lovely Fiona from Microblading and More, talking about scar tissue, where she does she covers up scar tissue, and she's doing various different things to help people feel more confident and more happy in themselves. Amazing stuff that she's doing. So please do go and check her out. I've next got the lovely Barbara coming up. Barbara, you're in early, which is great to see you. You're right if I bring you in. Just give me a thumbs up, because I won't bring you out if you don't want to. Perfect, brilliant. I'm going to bring you in, Barbara. So next up is Barbara Rogers. Again, I've known Barbara Rogers for quite a while now. I'm trying to think when we met Barbara. When did we meet?
Oh, a few years ago. We met at one of the Women's in Business at Longfield Academy.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I think we met before that then. I swear we met before that, but yeah.
Maybe online.
I reckon it was online.
I
yeah.
think I've done some of your challenges before that.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's great for you to be here. I know that you've been really active in terms of the Christmas market group that's been going on in Sevenoaks, I think it is, isn't it?
That's right. Yes. I've been posting there to keep, just to get people.
It's brilliant
to engage, hopefully, and sort of just to know me. That I'm a local lady.
Yeah, I love it. Barbara, tell us about yourself. Tell us about what you do.
So I'm a mum. I've got 3 sons. They're all a little bit older now, so that means I've got a lot of extra time on my hands. So I am with Avon, and I would say I primarily sell and promote Avon products, and I also have a team of probably about 50 ladies mainly. I've got a couple of men as well, who I help and support to help them get the most out of earning and selling Avon as well.
Perfect, brilliant. And how did you get into it?
Well, I just applied online actually, which I wouldn't recommend. I would definitely sort of, come to me and to talk about it and find out more, and join somebody that
to have that support. What about what did you do before, Barbara? What was you doing before?
Well, before that, I was a very big stay-at-home mum. I left work when I had my first son. He's now 31.
Oh, wow.
Before that, I worked in the city. I was on the trading desk of an American investment bank.
Wow, brilliant, Barbara.
which I really enjoyed. I used to talk away to customers all the time. That was what I did. Just
I
chat.
bet that was a really active role as well, right? Because when people say they're in the trading environment, it's quite a like sort of hectic running around type of role, or was it not like that?
Not so much, no. Bit less. We were called what we called sales traders. So it's mainly interaction with the customer, and then giving the orders to somebody else to run around.
Yeah.
I did at the American market.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So your hours, so what, they didn't start till like 11, 12 or something like that?
No,
Or
I started at 8 o'clock in the
oh,
morning.
wow.
And would go on till 6 or 7 in the evening, depending.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, no, because the customers were actually in the UK, so they would work normal UK hours.
Yeah. So that you was there to support them. So
That's
when
right.
you went, so you was a stay-at-home mum, and then when you when you was looking for something else to do, why Avon? Why did you choose Avon?
Because many years ago, I had a friend whose sister
Yeah.
did it, and she said that it was great fun.
Yeah.
You got lots of I won't call them prizes, incentives
Yeah. Nice.
for free, products at a discount, that it was a well-known brand and that people would
Trust that brand.
that's right, and know who it was as well.
Yeah.
Even now, everybody, not everybody, but you still get the ding dong, it's the
Yeah.
Avon lady, and I just smile slightly.
Yeah, and you know what? When Gareth's probably listening to this on the line, because I think Avon over here in the UK has changed much more than it has in Ireland. And before, I remember the Avon lady would leave the book at the door. You'd pick it up from the door, you'd do your order, and you'd put it back out on the doorstep. And now it's very much that the Avon lady will send you the link, and you've got your representative, and they'll send you the link to then go onto their online store, and then you order that way. But when I went over to Ireland, Barbara, back in, I think we went in October for my birthday, we were sitting there, and Gareth's mum went, "Oh, there's the Avon lady," and I was like, "Oh, it's like," and I looked at Gareth, I said, "It's like how we were, like, probably a few years back when we'd have that door knock with the Avon lady, because we probably wouldn't have an Avon lady that would knock here anymore." Does that make sense? It's like,
Really?
do you still do that here?
So I do a blended business. So
Okay.
I probably have I probably give out just over 100 brochures each month.
Oh, wow.
Prior to lockdown, I used to go
Yeah.
back and collect them.
Yeah.
But during lockdown, and I continue to do this because it
Yeah.
works much better for me, is that people now WhatsApp their orders, or they
Oh,
email them or text them.
yeah.
And then I have some people that use my online store. So some people locally like a brochure, but they like ordering
Yeah.
online. So I do that. Others do what I just said, and then I will go back with their orders and meet the customer at the door again and give over the next brochure. And so we go around the cycle. And then I've got customers all over the UK who they just go on my online store.
That's
I have
great.
a VIP group which I promote products,
Oh, nice.
and
Good.
I try to showcase them. But it's amazing how much time it takes to come
Yeah.
to a live or a video
Yeah.
to keep showcasing the products. But I do try my hardest and
Yeah.
keep doing that.
You've got amazing products, and I just saw, like, I've seen a selection of things that you've been putting into the virtual market as such, that we've the group. What's one of the sort of like top selling things that you're selling in Avon at the moment in product?
Okay, so the skincare range.
Yeah. Yeah.
For starters, it is actually an amazing product, the new skincare range. They Avon put a lot of money into the research there, and they have a special ingredient called Protanol, which helps your fine lines, helps your skin generally,
Yeah.
and it promotes your collagen.
Right.
So It really helps to boost your skin. And there's this amazing bundle at the moment where you
Yeah.
get a day cream, a night cream, the Protonol serum, and also the eye lift cream.
Wow.
And it's £36.
Oh, wow.
And that works out at £9 a product.
Wow, that's good.
And these are,
You'd
they
probably
are,
pay that for one product, wouldn't you, elsewhere?
I know. And they do what they say they do on the tin, they do.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
that's the best thing about it.
I bet people are loving that product, especially if they're buying that throughout the year anyway, and
Yep.
perfect for Christmas.
So it's a really good deal, and it's on in December as well. So
Perfect.
it's a really good deal. But I mean, Avon also, their fragrances, that's how Avon started in the States.
Yeah, yeah.
With people selling the fragrance bottles at the door. And even now, Avon are always working with French perfumers,
Oh,
very
wow.
well-known noses.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
some of the perfumes are really nice.
Lovely. I used to remember the book where you used to be able to scratch and rub, and you could smell that the smells in the book was great, that you could actually try them before you buy them.
You can still do that.
You still do that?
You
Oh,
can,
wow.
yeah.
I need
Yeah.
an Avon book, Barbara.
You do. I will give you one.
Perfect. I love that. So what is there anything that you're looking for? Anyone that you're, I know that you also take on team members as well.
I do.
Come on as part of your team. Do you just want to tell people about that briefly?
Yep. So it's a very easy process. You just apply on my link. I contact you, have a face-to-face where I meet you. I just have to check your ID and also your proof of address, and then you can start. And there's two. The first thing you do now is you order a starter kit, and there's one which I should have bought it with me. Is called the Ultimate Kit, and for £30 you get approximately 10 of Avon's best-selling products.
Wow.
Which are amazing. 2 perfumes. One of them, somebody told me recently, smells a little bit like Chanel No. 5.
Oh, wow.
It's that kind of scent. You get the Skin So Soft Dry Oil Spray, which people, that's very well known for its mozzie effect.
Yeah.
Particularly good in the summer, but it's also amazing on the skin. So you get you order your pack, and that's it. You're off. You can set up your Avon store, send your links out, and then it just opens up this amazing platform for you, which is full of help and support. We have a training platform and Facebook Lives every day, helping to support you to grow your business, give you advice. Avon just launched what we call the Beauty Advisor program. So it's an online course, and then there's going to be a portfolio that we'll need to do, and then some face-to-face training.
Oh, wow, that's brilliant.
And then after that, you'll get it will be certificated.
Wow,
which is even better.
that's amazing.
But also Avon work with makeup artists like Lisa Armstrong. Thanks to you, I got a personal session with Bryony Blake, who does Strictly makeup and is quite and that was all because of your help. You may not know that, but I followed one of your how to do a reels.
Brilliant, Barbara.
She chose my reel, so I got this, and it was supposed to be half an hour, but an hour and a half later I said to her, I think we ought to stop, don't you? And she said, oh really? No, I'm not sure about that. It was lovely.
I love that.
But also Avon have been working with Holly Tucker.
Oh wow, okay.
From Not on the High Street, and she's helping us in just last month, and now going into Christmas, giving us tips, advice on how to set ourselves up.
That's brilliant.
All these other things that go on.
That people don't realise.
No, so you can just be the lady that drops the brochure off if you wish, but actually it can open you up to Yeah, to a real opportunity.
Yeah.
And there is no ceiling on what you earn in a month.
No.
And you start to earn from your first sale. So
It's
there's no, you know, what are they? Levels that you've got to
Levels,
keep
yeah.
straight away are earning, which is fantastic as well.
Which is good. It's rewarding for people and a good motivator as well.
It is,
So how
yes.
do people find out more information about you, Barbara?
They can go to my link,
Yeah.
or they can message me.
Perfect. And
Do
you'll
you-
put your links in the chat, right? Just after the interview, put your links in the chat, and then people can then grab that link and click across.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. Yeah.
Perfect.
I put it in. Sorry, I shouldn't say this now.
No, you're right. You're fine. Go for it.
I put it in the private chat.
Yeah, put it in there. Put it in the private chat, and then I can paste it across.
Okay, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Lovely.
Barbara, it's been amazing to
Thank you so
interview and find out more about what you do.
I could, once I get started though.
I know, we could chat for ages. We have to go out
and chat and chat. Yep.
we have to get on separate individual chats with everyone, because I could talk with everyone for a long time. Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
it's nice. It's been really nice this morning because I feel like I've got to know everyone a little bit more. It's great.
Yeah.
It's nice. Well, look, it's been a pleasure to have you on this morning.
Thank you very much.
And I'll see you soon.
Lovely. Take care. Thank you.
Barbara. Bye.
Bye.
That was Barbara Rogers from Avon. Inspirational what she's been doing. It's not just about a lady with an Avon catalogue. It's about all of those other opportunities that she's been opened up to in terms of taking it to that next step. If you want any more information from Barbara, she's going to put the links in so I can then share them with you. We have been on here for 2 hours and 10 minutes. I love doing this. We've probably got around another half an hour as I've got another 3 lovely people that I'm interviewing. And then this will be available across our social sites for the next week or so across Small Business Saturday for the Estates, which is tomorrow the 26th. And then for Saturday the 3rd of December, which is next Saturday. And you know, if you are watching in, because I know there's quite a few of you watching in, please do come and comment, like, share your business links in the chat. If you're watching the replay, do the same at that time, because this will be available across all of the different social media sites going forward. So we're going to bring in our next lady, Aruna, and I can see she's in the background. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're ready, Aruna. Perfect. So I'm going to bring you in. Helen says, enjoying hearing about these businesses. Oh, Helen, we're looking forward to seeing you soon, Helen. Helen's just in the background there, and we'll be hearing from Helen shortly. Let me come out. That was Barbara's thing. Let me bring Aruna in. Morning, Aruna.
Morning.
How are you? You good?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Brilliant. I'm really good, thank you. I'm enjoying this morning, getting to know everyone.
Yes, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been. Have you been watching in?
Bits and pieces, because I'm working as well. I'm supposed to be working as well at the same time.
Oh, bless
I'm doing
you.
half.
Oh, tell us a bit about yourself, Aruna. Tell everyone about yourself.
Well, I started our network, the Asian Single Parents Network, KIC, 11 years ago on Meetup. So it hasn't always been a social enterprise. So it started on Meetup 11 years ago because I went through 2 divorces. So 2 arranged marriages, went through divorce twice.
Wow.
First time when I was 21, I was thrown out for dowry.
Oh, wow.
After a 2-month period, we got married, had the big Asian wedding, Indian wedding, and 2 months down the line was told, well, your parents didn't buy us a house or a car, and they wanted more. I put my foot down and said, no, enough is enough. And they threw me out. So I had to go through court to get all my belongings back, because they kept hold of my personal belongings down to my toiletries and clothing and stuff like that. So I had to wait 2 years to get things back. And then went through it a second time because my ex was still seeing his ex. So, you know, after going through that twice, going through arranged marriages, I thought I would set something up so that we had company with other people who've been through something similar. So I set it up 11 years ago because I found at the time a lot of my friends were from the Western culture, so
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
understand what
Understand.
I'd
That's what I was
gone
gonna
through.
say. Yeah. Did you find that it was quite lonely in terms of having that communication and for people to understand what you'd had actually been through? Because I imagine
Yes,
when you go through arranged marriage, it's quite a build up, isn't it? In terms of,
yes,
and then you then go into it, and if it's then not successful, in some cases, you know, when you people wouldn't understand that whole arrangement and that whole
no,
emotional journey that you've
that's
been
right.
through.
I mean, it's an introduction, so you do get a choice over it
Yeah,
in a way, but at the same time, you know, you sort of, yeah, you're introduced by family to people,
yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
but not forced into it. But
No,
yes, so I went through it, and I wanted to speak to other people who'd been through what I had, really,
yeah,
and have company, because a lot of my friends at the time were in couples, so
yeah,
they were doing their own things at the
yeah,
weekend, and it was just me and my daughter, and I felt a bit bad because she's an only child as well.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
wanted to do things with other people, you know, go out and do things. So I set up Meetup Asian Single Parents, and then we became a social enterprise 2 years ago, finally.
Wow,
Um,
brilliant.
so yes, so we've been running for 11 years. So yeah, it's just a space where people can talk to other people who understand what they're going through. Because of the stigma in the South Asian community, a
Yeah,
lot of people are judged.
yeah.
So when they join us, they can't tell family or friends or relatives that they're going through a
Wow.
divorce, or they
Okay.
don't want people knowing because
No.
they know they will be judged.
Yeah, yeah,
So we provide a space where members can talk to each other, they can
confidentially.
socialize,
Yeah,
and you know, and they won't be judged.
yeah.
You know, so they can talk
That's
to
really
others
nice.
in
That's
boat.
really nice. And do you have like an online community, so it's offline in terms of the meetup, but do you have an online community as well where you can talk between meetings and that type of stuff, or not really?
We have WhatsApp groups by different locations.
Yeah, yeah,
So
perfect.
people in their own areas will arrange meets as well. So we have the meets for everybody that
Yeah.
we'll arrange,
And
and
I've seen
then
a few
within the
pictures
groups,
of those.
people will rate. Sorry.
I've seen a
Yes,
few
you've
pictures
seen
of
the
those,
pictures.
yeah.
So we have people within the groups as well, sort of doing their own thing, and you know, having play dates with their children and
Yeah.
things like that. So yeah, we're very active in that sense. And we've been doing expert Q&As as well
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
last 2 years. So when the pandemic hit, we had to go to Zoom instead because there was no way of seeing each other. So we went to Zoom sessions and we danced every day to
Oh,
keep the
wow.
spirits up. So
Yeah.
one day we do Indian dancing, next day we do English dancing,
Oh, I love
Zumba
that.
or anything. We had a cocktail night. We had different expert Q&As that might help our parents. So a family lawyer, for instance,
Yeah, yeah.
parenting experts. Who else did we have? A dating expert as well, because some of our parents want to move on, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
look for somebody else. So we've had so many different people over the last 2 years, and we've carried on with that. So we have
That's
a mix
brilliant.
of both. So online as well as the face-to-face meets.
Which is good.
Yeah,
And it's
good.
like a membership arena, right? So you've made it into a membership, or is it just a club that's funded, or?
Well, up until recently, it was just membership, but we've
Yeah.
just received funding from the
Brilliant.
lottery
Oh, wow, that's
to help
amazing.
our parents further, because we don't want to
Yeah,
help them just on the social front. We want to
yeah.
help them with their emotional well-being as well, and practically as well. So we've got funding for a divorce coach.
Wow.
So when people come to us, they're often very overwhelmed,
Yeah,
very confused of where to go.
yeah.
So we've got a divorce coach now who can
Oh,
signpost
wow,
them
that's brilliant.
and put them on the right path of what steps they can take.
That's
So
brilliant.
we've got that funding to do that now. And also for certain activities like badminton, where
Yeah.
people can interact through sport. So,
That's
you know,
great.
we've
I
got
love
funding
that.
as well now. So we're a bit of both, really.
And right now, in terms of the current climate, in terms of, they're talking about a recession and the cost of living, you're going to find that there's going to be some single parents out there that
Mm.
want to chat to people within certain communities. How can they, have you got sort of like a taster event they can come along to, or you have a taster online event that you do, or do they just get in touch with you and you have a call with them? How do they how would they sort of like get a feel for what your group's all about?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they just get in touch with us and follow us on social media, we often put our events up to
Perfect.
show what we're doing. So you've seen those
Yeah.
photos, haven't you? Sort of things.
Yeah.
So recently we had a Q&A with a financial expert,
Perfect.
a mortgage expert as well. So we've been doing a lot of those around the
Good.
cost of living to
Brilliant,
help our parents.
Verona. Yeah.
So
That's what
all of
people
those
need.
things. That's right.
Any
So
tips you give to those people? Any tips right now that you think would be that you would maybe, tell people that are in that situation? Like any sort of like guidance?
yeah, it's very hard at the time, but you will get through it. I mean, I've been there. I've
Yeah.
got the t-shirt. It's
Yeah.
very hard at the time, and you think it's never ending and you'll never get through it, but you will. There's
Yeah.
hope at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, by joining a network like this, you will get there faster because you'll
Yeah.
be with other people who are going through the same journey as you. So
It's
it's
that
great
support
to join a
network.
network like this,
Yeah.
really.
It's a really good support network,
Mm.
and that makes them feel part of something. But they,
That's right.
when they've got, I say that word, they might feel lonely in their situation. You're
Mm.
actually making them feel that they can open up and they can
That's right.
speak to someone that's been there and
Yeah,
done that.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what it's all about.
So what's your next event coming up?
Ooh, our Christmas events.
Yay.
So we're going to Winchester
Oh,
Christmas market
nice.
on
Oh,
the 18th of December. And
oh,
before
wow.
that, actually, we've got a Christmas lunch on the 10th
Yeah.
and doing the South Bank Christmas market.
Oh,
If anybody
nice.
wants to join us.
So lovely events happening. I always
Mm.
see your events and I think they look so much
Yeah.
fun. Everyone looks happy in them,
That's
which just is
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
They look so nice. And Sarah's just put here, she's put, "This sounds amazing, Aruna. Happy to do a talk for you." So
Brilliant.
reach
Oh,
out
I
to
definitely have her in.
yeah. And Helen says she's enjoying hearing about these businesses. So it's lovely, some lovely stuff there. So Aruna, people find you by finding you out on social media.
Yes,
They
and
see
our
you.
website as well. So it's www.aspnetwork.org.uk.
And you
So-
mentioned sorry, go on, go for
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, we're on most social media, but most active on Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect. And you mentioned about that you do what was it you said? You do Q&As?
Yes.
Are they on YouTube?
We've put some on YouTube. We put one
Yeah.
up this week actually from our mortgage expert.
Perfect.
So we'll be putting some more of those on as well.
Brilliant.
And then we're making little clips of the actual questions our members ask and putting those in our members area.
Okay, nice. So you only put
Yeah.
certain content on YouTube, which is great, but it still gives
Yeah.
people an idea of what you're doing.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, it's nice. And Helen's just put, what an amazing thing you are doing. Thank you for sharing your story. It is, it's lovely. It shows what your motivation is though, Aruna, and your story is it's been a sort of drive for what you have created and now how you're helping others through that journey as well. And I think I said this to it might have been no, it was Laura earlier. I think when you've been through that whole experience and the options or the ways that you went or the learnings, you're able to really help other people that are going
That's
through
right.
that same situation.
Yes. I'm very passionate about what I do.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
there have been a number of times and I've thought, oh, why am I doing this? But I think because of what I've been through, it just keeps me going.
Yeah, it's great. And it's really unique as well in terms of what you do. It's quite niche.
That's
I think it's, people remember it. I think it's great.
That's right.
Oh,
Thank
well
you.
done, Aruna. It's great
Thank
stuff.
you.
And it's been a pleasure to speak with you this morning and hear about your story.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. And if anyone is interested in what Aruna does or wants to find out more, Aruna, I've got a contact for you. You might already know them. They're SEK, Social Enterprise Kent.
Okay.
And I will connect you with Rebecca, and her advisor is Michael, because you're in Kent, aren't you, Aruna?
Yes.
And they've got a program at the moment which is available grant and funding for CICs, where you get 12 hours of mentoring.
Brilliant.
So I will connect you
Yes.
up with that. I think it'd be a
Okay.
really good connection. Gareth's making notes of what I've got to do afterwards, so I'll send it across. I think
Brilliant.
you'll find
That'd
it
be great.
useful.
Thank you.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's
I think
brilliant.
what they
Thank
say,
you.
every
That'd be
bit
really useful.
helps. Yeah. But you take care.
Thank
It's lovely to see you.
Thank you. And you.
I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Now that was Aruna. If you're watching in, Aruna was just talking to us about her business, Asian Single Parents Network, which is all about bringing people together as a community, so they've got a space to talk about what they're going through and supporting each other through that journey. So check Aruna out. She's going to share her links in the chat. It's been a really good morning so far. I've been on here for 2.5 hours. I've got another couple of interviews. I've got Misha Whedon supposed to be coming in, so I'm just waiting for her to come in now, and the lovely Helen Fuchs, who's going to be my last interview. I also talk about, I hate talking about myself, it's not about me, but I'm just going to give you a bit about what we do at ZC Social Media. We're an agency based in Rochester in Kent. We work internationally, so I've spoken in over 14 countries. I've done a lot of TV and radio. Most recently I was on LBC, which was another different station that I've not been on before, which was a really great interview last Monday. So I do a lot of talk around social media trends, online safety, the online world, but we run an agency that helps manage people's social media and campaigns, but also do in-depth training, and we have the membership site ZC Social Media Academy, so the link is in the captions. So if you want to know and want to learn and want to grow your business, the ZC Social Media Academy is one of the perfect places to start. But if you're looking to outsource, then I do a discovery call where we can have a chat and you can hear more about how we can potentially help you. So for those of you that have been watching in, I really do hope that you've been enjoying it so far. And like I mentioned, I'm just waiting for the last couple of people to come in. Helen, if you are watching, you can always pop in early, as I don't think that Helen's here. Perfect. Helen, give me a little thumbs up. You're in the blue room, but when you're ready, I think she's putting a little headset on. When you're ready, give me a little thumbs up that you're ready, and I'll bring you in, because I don't think Michelle is actually based in Turkey. And Michelle a couple of times has some challenges with the internet. Michelle is at from Eden International Property Consultants. She's amazing. I'll still share her links in the comments, but we always have challenges with the time zones. So she might even come in as we're talking to Helen, but if she does, I'll make sure I get her on next. But I'm going to bring in the lovely Helen Fuchs. I love Helen. Helen recently, I'll just say this, I've known Helen for many years. I met Helen at a networking event, and Helen always exhibits at ZC Live. And I said to her this year, do you want to speak, Helen? She was like, I'd love to speak. Helen is brilliant. If you've got an event, you've got a conference, you need a speaker on Microsoft 365, any of those types of apps, and Helen's going to tell us more about what she does in a moment. Helen kept the audience engaged. She was entertaining. And I've said to her already, you're coming back next year. She is brilliant. So I'm going to bring her in, as I'm sure you want to meet Helen. I'm going to bring her in now. Morning,
Hi,
Helen.
Zoe.
How are you?
Hello.
You okay?
I'm good. I'm probably blushing now.
Oh,
No,
no, you were really good.
I had a fantastic time at ZC Live. It's a great event.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
loved it. And I still can't believe it's not really even a month. Well, actually, it's a month on Monday. It's not even a month ago.
It was such a fantastic, after lockdown and you couldn't have it. and to get it all back up and running was
Yeah.
amazing.
It was really good. I loved it, and just yeah, it was brilliant to bring it back, and we're going to come back even stronger next year. So it's great. Helen, tell everyone about yourself.
Okay, I'm Helen from View IT Training, and I basically stop you shouting at your computer, because how many of us do that, don't we, Zoe? It doesn't
Yeah.
work, and it's always the time when you you've got to get something out urgently. You've got so much to do. You've got dinner to cook. You've got to get out the door, and you're just thinking, oh, I can't know how to do this, or the computer won't do it. Why isn't it doing it? And I think sometimes actually that stress, that pressure makes us even more what I say to people, and one of the big things I train is Microsoft 365. Microsoft's my thing. I do go into Google and stuff sometimes as well, because there's a lot of similarities. But one of the things I say to people is sometimes you've got to talk to the computer in a way it understands.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, if you can work that out, then you will have a much better, it sounds odd, relationship with your technology.
Yeah, because it's always that time when you've got to get something done. It's urgent. You've got a few minutes, and then all of a sudden it freezes, and you're like, "What's happening?"
Why isn't it doing it? And then we used to have a saying, when you say, "Oh, I'll just do this. It will take 5 minutes." It never takes 5 minutes, because the computer's like, "No."
And I end up madly clicking it more. And Gareth said, if you stop clicking it, it will then register. Otherwise, you keep clicking it, it's going to keep going round and round and round.
Because every time you're clicking, it's adding up those
Yeah,
clicks. If you imagine they're all going into a big pile,
yeah,
and then it's saying, right, I've got a big pile of clicks to work on first before you do what I want you to do.
yeah.
So sorry, the cat's just walked past.
That's all right.
Molly.
Oh, we've had I don't know if you saw earlier, but Laura and Barry Ash, their little kittens were having a chase in the background earlier. They were adorable.
I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to go back and have a look.
It was really good. So Laura, in terms of businesses right now, what are the key trends right now? Because I know that when you spoke at ZC Live, it was really interesting to see, when people think about Microsoft 365, they think about Word and PowerPoint and just, your email. But actually, there's so many other applications that can help with productivity and systems. There was so much you were talking about. So is there any particular apps at the moment you would say that are ones that people have just sort of like discovered that are trending as such?
There's a lot more in it. There's the Forms app, which is great if you have one of these businesses where you need to collect information, and where you can send out a link. All your customers can fill in that information. That comes back to you in a spreadsheet already formatted. You don't have to do anything. So that's a big one, Microsoft Forms. There's a lot of productivity apps as well. So on a sort of basic level, you've got like the To-Do app, which just lets you do lists, and we all like a list, don't we? We all like to know. And also, if you work more in a team, and actually I use this individually as well, there's the Planner app, which is a bit like something like Trello, or it gives you they're called buckets. I don't know where they come up with this terminology. So you create a bucket or a section. You can put all your tasks to do with that in a bucket. So let's say something like your organization, you might say, right, we're going to have a bucket for our LinkedIn, we're going to have a bucket for our Twitter, and we're going to have a bucket for our Facebook. So the planner is really good. And the other bit that's really people don't realize is Teams. In fact, I was speaking to someone the other day, and they say, oh yeah, we've got Teams, we do calls on it, but actually it's meant the calls bit is only a small part of it, because you can have conversations on it, you can share information, you can look at each other's plans. So when it's used properly, and when people realize it's there, they like to hide, I'm sure they like to hide things away, it is really, really good. So I would say probably the three, and Teams it'll be around for a long time. and it is evolving all the time because we can't keep emailing everybody.
No,
Or,
yeah.
you know, now I've got one on email, got one on WhatsApp,
Yeah,
got one on
yeah,
Facebook Messenger,
yeah.
and it's just so
Becomes too
unproductive.
much, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You're getting
So
notifications everywhere, aren't you?
that's it. So I think one of the things they're trying to do with Teams is bring people in an organization in the same
Yeah.
place. So yeah, so that's probably the big one, but it's changing all the time. And I love sort of the shortcuts and saving people time,
Yeah,
because how
yeah.
much
Well,
time do we
yeah.
waste?
Yeah, on using other tools, when actually if it's all in one place,
Yeah,
trying to bring it
yeah.
all together.
And then also you've got the security aspect as well, because obviously, you know, if you've got a password for one and a password for
Yeah,
other, something else, you know, if you got it under the Microsoft 365 umbrella, it's all it's
all in one
yeah,
place.
as long as your password's secure and stuff. Don't get me started on that.
How did you get into this, Helen? Like, what? How
Oh,
did you get into it?
right. So, years and years and years ago, she said, but when we first started using computers, I found them really difficult. Now, this is going to show my age, but then when you used computers, then you had to kind of give them a lot of programming behind it,
Yeah,
and I really struggled. I was rubbish at it, and I kind of thought, you know, if I can work out the key to this,
yeah,
then it will make my life so much quicker. And I think that was it. I kind of started thinking about how the computer was work, and I was working as a PA at the time, and then I became the go-to person because I kept trying to find out how things worked and
right.
try and then I just love explaining it, because I just think I like to make people's lives easier. I think
Yeah,
that's it,
yeah,
because
that's good.
you're always, you know, we're all trying to do stuff, and you want to get on with what you're good at.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
What you got
not
a
be
passion for.
That's it, not be
Yeah,
fussing about trying to do something on the computer. So
yeah, yeah.
I just thought, actually, do you know what? I want to help people use this better and
Mm,
make use of what's out there. So
no, it's
that is why I
amazing.
got into it. And you know, I worked. Oh, and then we went into this was in the this was probably the late 90s, early noughts. So nobody knew how to use a computer. So we'd have big classes, and you'd have to tell people how to use a mouse.
Yeah.
And some people thought you had to hold it up on the screen and move it along the screen. And you can't imagine those days now.
No.
And nobody had seen a mouse. Nobody knew how to double click, how to
Oh,
click and
wow.
drag. You know, people were just totally, yeah, we'd spend like the first 20 minutes explaining how to turn the computer on and showing
Yeah,
them
yeah.
around it. So yeah, when you think back to those days, everything's come a long way.
Right,
It
you're from there, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get many people putting the mouse on the screen anymore.
Oh, don't you do it that way?
No, you don't. So if anyone is doing that, come and speak to me.
Because if you can imagine, if people hadn't seen a mouse and you put like 10 or even IT people in a room, and someone said, "What do you think you need to do with this?" It'd be a really good
Why would you
experiment, wouldn't
know?
it?
Why would you know what to do? I mean,
You
this is
wouldn't.
half. Actually, I think you've hit the
'Cause
nail
I
on
would
the
probably
head.
hold it like this,
Yeah.
like a remote control.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you wouldn't know what to do. And this is what people say to me. They say, "Oh, I don't know how to do this," or they're worried because they don't know how to do. Don't be worried, because the whole point is that you've got to learn, and it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah,
That does not
yeah.
matter if you don't know. Does it really? It doesn't
No,
matter. I mean,
it
anything.
doesn't,
This is
no.
why we're in your group, because
And you're in a group where you feel safe. There's
yeah,
no judgment. There's,
that's it.
and at the end of the day, people should feel like, because, when you really look at something like that, it's a really good example.
Yeah.
If you didn't know what a mouse was and you didn't know how to use it, we would all have different answers. None of them would be wrong, because none of us would know exactly how to use it,
Yeah.
unless there was someone in there that did know. But it's a good example.
It's all about feeling safe to ask questions,
Yeah,
and I mean, and I know people do in your group, questions that you probably know, but actually it's important that people
yeah,
feel that. And when people come on my courses or buy my products, I want them to say, "Helen, I don't understand,"
yeah,
and that's fine.
yeah.
That is, it doesn't matter.
Helen, tell us about what courses you've got coming up, because I know you've done OneNote and you've got some others coming up as
Yeah,
well.
I've got some basic Excel ones coming up for people who want
Good.
to use Excel. I think I've got one on the 5th of December.
Yeah,
And then we're looking at planning some more for next year.
brilliant.
And I've also got some stuff on my website if people want to learn on their own pace, where you can download videos, and you get exercises, and you get a certificate at the end as
Oh,
well.
that's
So that's
brilliant.
kind of like self-led training.
Yeah,
And I'm still it's still there's some on the website already, there's more coming, but the idea is that, you know, not everyone has time in their day to do a course, so they're being
yeah,
developed. And we do a membership as well, so if you're one
that's
of these
brilliant.
people who, you know, has like mad panics at
Yeah,
well, I'm not going to say about 3 o'clock in the morning,
in
because
the
I might not
morning.
be up, but mad panics of, I mean, yeah, let me give you an example. So someone on my membership rang me up, and there was like a Friday afternoon, she said, I can't remember how to do a mail merge. And all I did, I said, right, this, and this, and she did it. So there's little things like that we
Yeah,
know,
good.
can't remember, but when you're under pressure, you can't
Yeah,
remember even less. And that's what my membership's
that's
about.
really good.
And I've also got some, which can go on my website shortly, some workbooks. So
Oh,
if you
nice.
wanted to learn Excel or Word and from scratch, and the workbooks talk you through them, because some
Yeah,
people like paper, some people
yeah,
like videos. We all learn differently, don't we?
yeah, we do.
So I've got a bit of both, and these workbooks are step by step, so you can kind of follow along and do that. So they're yeah, I'm just finishing them off, and
That's
hopefully
brilliant.
by January I should have them on the
Oh,
website.
that'd
So
be really useful for people, especially
yeah,
for teams and stuff like that in-house.
that's it. It
Yeah,
just, you know, sometimes you think, actually, I just want to follow through at my own pace, because we all
yeah,
learn differently.
yeah, we do. There's lots of different styles of learning and stuff like that, isn't there?
Yeah,
That's
it is.
brilliant.
So
So
yeah,
how
go
do
on.
people find out like more about you? What is the website? And I know that you've got a YouTube channel as
I
well, so
have
please
got a
mention
YouTube
that.
channel. I'm quite loving my YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's
It's
good,
it's a bit addictive, actually, creating
is
YouTube.
it?
Yeah, it is. But no, I've got a YouTube channel, and I put little things on there that are like flavors of the month, you know, something
Yeah,
that's come up, and I keep coming across the problem, and I think, right, I'll do a little video on that. And there's some really useful stuff. Also got a website, so have a look at the website, or
yeah.
just contact me on Facebook or LinkedIn, and I'm really happy to chat. Also I have
Go on.
View IT Training Hints and Tips Facebook group. So
Oh,
it's free to
brilliant.
join. If you want
Make
to
sure you
join
put the
that,
link in the chat
I
as
will.
well,
And
Helen.
that's probably a good place to start, because you know,
Yeah,
people can ask questions there.
brilliant.
And it's, you know, I put the links to my videos and stuff. So I'll put the link to the Facebook group
Perfect.
in. It is, you do have to request to be a member. I don't let anyone in. No,
No,
you know what
no.
it's like, because of spam and stuff.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
but you will be let in. You know, it's just to stop the spam bots and stuff.
Brilliant. I
So
think
don't
that's
be put off
perfect.
by that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think that's a good way to, you know, stop the spam coming in, but then people get some good quality people coming in that want to share and
Yes.
communicate and stuff. So
That's it.
perfect.
That's it. So yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes people, if they're stuck, they can put their questions on there.
No,
There
it's
you go.
brilliant. Well,
So
as always, it's a pleasure, Helen. It's been lovely to chat with you this morning.
thank you for having me on. It's been a great
Oh, it's been
listening.
good.
It's been a fantastic morning. Just
Oh, it's been great.
amazing.
And do you know what? I'm seeing now how we could actually do mini sort of sessions with everyone.
Mm.
And I think that would be great. So we're just talking about how we
I
can,
love this software.
yeah, Restream
Yeah,
is fab. Yeah.
it's brilliant.
You
It
can
is.
actually, I just saw also, actually, I can't change it when I'm live. I can actually do it in mobile form as well. So if you wanted to do some little clips for reels and stuff like that, you can use it in mobile format as well, which is great.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm looking
it's
forward to that.
brilliant.
It's a really nice little bit of
Yeah.
software.
And I've just
It
put all
is.
the colours and stuff on. I just use Canva to put my little the background comes with it, but I've put my logo in and the bottom piece. So yeah, it's really, really good.
Fantastic. Sorry, going geeky there. I do like
Oh,
a bit
that's
of
all right.
software.
It's fine. You're most welcome to ask questions. But
It
it's
is.
been a pleasure, Helen. Everyone check Helen Fuchs out, View IT Training. Helen is brilliant at what she does and a lovely lady with it. So just go and check her out. And Helen, I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. And I'll put the link to the Facebook page in the chat
Brilliant.
so people can join us.
Perfect. That'd be
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you take care.
And
Bye.
you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. So that was the lovely Helen Fuchs from View IT Training. Again, go and check Helen out. We have come to the end of our interviews. And like I mentioned, I'm Zoe Cairns from ZC Social Media. This morning, we've heard from all of our, some of our ZC Academy members. There's still a few that we haven't had on. Michelle couldn't make today, and Amy Bowler couldn't make today, and Karen, Eva, and there's Angus. I've got a whole list of lots of other members that couldn't be here today. Angus says, wonderful that you, Zoe, are giving all ZC Social Media Growth Academy members a chance to give overviews of their businesses for Small Business Saturday. Thank you, Angus. Angus is we call him the cheese man. When he comes to our Christmas get-togethers, he brings a whole selection of cheeses that we all end up taking away for Christmas, which is great, as he runs farmers markets, and he also has an internet marketing company that helps people with their marketing. So go and check Angus out. He's a lovely guy as well. But it's been an amazing morning. I want to say thank you to all of my ZC Growth Academy members, those ones that couldn't come along and those ones that have taken time out to come along as well this morning. They've put their links in the chat. Come and check ZC Social Media out, zcsocialmedia.com. We provide social media management, consultancy, training, and we have a membership site for small businesses to help you in running your own social media activities. We have over 4 to 6 live sessions every month, and a library over 200 hours of content already, where you can come and learn, put together your strategy and all of that type of stuff. If you want more info, DM me and I'll be able to come on a discovery call or have a chat with you about it. Or if you just go to zcsocialmediaacademy.com, you can find out more about the membership. And Helen's just put her link to her group as well in here. So fantastic. View IT Training hints and tips if you want to join. So amazing morning. Again, thank you all for our viewers. If you're watching the replay, feel free to like, comment and share about sharing the love with local businesses. And I hope to see you all again next year for Small Business Saturday celebration, celebrating small businesses, their successes, their challenges and their learnings. I'm Zoe Cairns, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.